I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your man, Uncle Freezy. Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. Again, I'm your man, Uncle Freezy, number one chief rocker in Knicks universe. Here to get this party started. Let's start with this. Blue tears, orange tears, Blorange tears. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yo. Throw your hands in the air and wave them. You just don't care. And if you got some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh, yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it. I got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. A lot of things that I'm going to touch on. A lot of things I'm going to touch on, man. Let me start with the tip-off. So this has nothing to do with the game. Nothing to do with the game last night. I'm disappointed. A lot of things. A lot of things, man. A lot of things were not right. Right? A lot of things were out of order last night. But what bothered me the most about last night is not the fact that we lost or how we lost. Kevin Durant dunking on the break and screaming like it was game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. That didn't bother me, right? Alec Burks being switched on to Kyrie Irving and times we needed defensive stops. That didn't bother me. What bothered me, and this is what bothered me, right? I'm not saying this is a universal problem. I'm saying this is what bothered me. Don't take this as this is some universal thing that I'm trying to add to like some grand national speaking point, right? I'm saying what bothered me is we had a huge lead at halftime and Greeny and Stephen A. Smith are talking and Stephen A. Smith come out his mouth with the worst thing a Knicks fan can ever hear. A dude that claims to be a Knicks fan is bashing us at halftime when we have a huge lead. That bothered me personally. I'm not saying it should have bothered you or that it bothered a lot of people. What I'm saying is it bothered me. Stephen A. Smith pouting like a little boy. Like, oh no, this is, you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. The lead is blase, blah, whatever. Stephen A. Smith pout like a little boy on a national platform. Come on, Stephen A., man. Come on. Come on, Stephen A. What you doing, man? Yo, Hinton Murphy, what's good? The thing with Stephen A., man, come on, Stephen A., man. At some point, man, come on, dog. Come on. We got a huge lead against our crosstown rivals on a nationally televised game. Come on, man, cut us some slack, man. God damn it, Stephen A. Smith. Do you have to play this role all the time, man? Could you at least have been neutral? Stephen A. Smith, could you at least have been like, yo, we have this lead. Let's see where this goes. You didn't have to jump out the window for us and be like, oh, we win it by such and such. We're going to blow them out the building. You didn't have to say that, Stephen A. But could you have been neutral? Could you have at least, Stephen A., been like, yo, we have this big lead. Let's see where this thing goes. I hope my guys can hold on. Let's see. Maybe one of the young kids can step up in the second half. Could you at least said that, Stephen A. Smith? I enjoyed one of the best halves of New York Knicks basketball, the first half of that game. Right? The first half of that, I really enjoyed the first half of that game. And Stephen A. Smith comes in, as usual, with the buffoonery. Like, you gotta sell a product. Stephen A. Smith, really, man? Could you have been just be neutral? Sometimes just be neutral, man. We needed you to be neutral last night. Stephen A. Smith did not shoot a jump shot. He did not call plays for the Knicks. He didn't do anything for the Knicks, but he was an analyst, a commentator, or whatever ESPN calls him, right? Whatever ESPN calls him, right? All I'm asking in this moment, as we sit in our living rooms and in our dens or on our computers or whatever electronic device we use to watch the game last night, whether it's your smart TV, whatever. As Knicks fans watch this thing, Stephen A. Smith, could you at least have been neutral, bro? Could you at least shoot us some bail, man? It has already been a disaster of a season where Knicks fans are turning on themselves, right? Knicks fans are legit. Like in the chat, people are turning on themselves. And some of you, man, listen, some people are so frustrated with the way that the season is turning out that they're turning on each other in these chats. Not just this chat, but chats all across the board. Everywhere you go, just about, you see like the frustration and negativity and toxicity, you know what I'm saying? Throughout, because we had a somewhat positive season last year. This season's a disaster. So people are frustrated. So instead of at least not throwing gas on the fire, Stephen A. Smith, you could have just been neutral. Right? You didn't have to try to put the fire out. Right? You didn't have to try to put the fire out. You could have at least just stood there and not done nothing, but you decided to throw gasoline on the fire. And that's why we are here. You wonder why Tom Thibodeau talks about Knicks fans being toxic and having shows on YouTube and social media doing all these things. It's because of cats like Stephen A. Smith couldn't let us enjoy one half of basketball. Yo, Mr. Vince says Uncle Freezy has abandoned the Knicks bandwagon along. Oh, he has abandoned the Knicks bandwagon a long time ago. His act was typical. Right. I read that wrong. I thought you meant Uncle Freezy has abandoned the Knicks bandwagon. I was about to say, no, not me, bro. I'm a Knicks fan forever. Man. I've been a Knicks fan longer than Mr. Vince has been alive. Mr. Vince, how old are you? You remember the 70s Knicks? I became a fan in the 70s. Right? And so the thing about right. And so the thing about the Stephen A. Smith thing is I was like, yo, can we at least have our moment as Knicks fans? Can we have, we didn't have a lot of moments this season. The chats across the board now are so toxic, and not because people are mean, but because people are frustrated. I was perusing, like I was cleaning up in the room, like hanging up shirts and stuff in the closet or whatever, and I heard CK2K talk about negative comments, right? And so when you get CK2K talking about negative comments, man, I mean, things are off the rails. Y'all, people are bashing CK2K. Come on, man, what are we really doing? What are we really doing? Are we, it's frustration. People are frustrated that the Knicks are terrible. And so, I'm listening to, I was listening to Knicks Fan TV the other day talk about people taking his words and twisting them. Like he's talking about alluding to like the phone tag thing. Like when you send a message to somebody, and as the more it gets passed along, the more your words get twisted. So it's like this thing of Knicks fans are so not there. So there are mean people out there, right? There are people out there that are mean, right? And there are people out there that are cowards, right? But I'm not speaking to that crowd. I'm just talking about the regular Jane and Joes. You know what I'm saying? The regular Joe and Jane that's out there, that's Knicks fans. They are frustrated because we had the promise of a good season, and we are having a terrible season. And the guy that represents us, the guys that represent us, the Stephen A. Smiths, the Spike Lees, the Tracy Morgans, the people that represent us don't always say positive stuff. The only person that's been positive throughout that I know is Jay Boogie, and that's my dog. And salute to Jay Boogie for being positive throughout. Right? Shout out to my man Jay Boogie for being super positive throughout. Me personally, I have been up and down. Y'all saw the thing with me and Obi. Y'all saw the thing. Obi Toppin didn't deserve how mean I was being to him, but I was frustrated. Right? I was frustrated. My team wasn't winning. The team is not winning. It's been a bad season. But at least I'll admit, like, listen, man, I'm wrong about Obi. My frustration is not that I hate the Knicks or that I hate Obi. It was that I wanted to get more production out of Obi, and I wanted the Knicks to win. That is where my frustration comes. It comes from a sincere place and not a selfish place. Right? Oh, and Free Keith. I forgot the other pod. Hey, man, my bad. And Free Keith, Mr. Positive. Knicks fans were the chat was jumping Free Keith since the beginning of the season because he was being positive. Right? Hey, and so Yellow M. Hey, so I'm thinking that Tracy Morgan has been a positive Knicks fan. I'm hoping so, because all the stuff that what I was speaking to about Tracy Morgan is this group of people representing us, and not that Tracy Morgan was being negative. Like I pointed out 3 people that represented the Knicks, right? But the negative stuff I pointed out to Stephen A. Smith specifically, right? Stephen A. Smith, you got your platform, bro. You don't have to take shots at the Knicks every time you get the opportunity. Every time, Stephen A. Smith, I will tell you this. I don't know if you watching or if you're people watching or whatever, but every time you bash the Knicks, more and more people go to the electronics store to buy microphones and headphones and cameras, things of that sort, so they can legit get in this space right here, and so they can have their voice be heard. And this place right here is a place where people have their voices heard. Right? I wish there was a way that I can take the entire chat, however number is going to come through today, and we could just be in the same place and we could just talk face to face. I would love a scenario like that. I would love it, man. I love stuff like that. I love the open house. T. Williams was good. Right? Every time you bash the Knicks, more and more people want to get in this space. Right? More and more people want to get in this space so they can have their voice be heard, because our representatives don't always represent us the correct way. Stephen A. Smith, you got a platform. You're in the biggest platform in the game. Your team was winning. Your team was winning against their rival, and all you had to do at the bare minimum was be neutral. It was one of the most enjoyable first halves that Knicks fans have seen all year. Right? At home, against your rival. Your young franchise player looks good. At the time, I think he had 16, 6, and 6. I think that's what he had at the time. 16 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. On his way to a triple-double is what I was thinking at the time. At the time, I'm thinking, like, if he can't grab 4 rebounds in an up-and-down game like this with no bigs in the game, shit, this is done. I was thinking that he might fall short on assists. That's where I was thinking he might fall short on. So Paris Duggan says, we need to lose the eulogy sound. We look good, Uncle Freezy. Sims, Obi are coming quickly. Still is a little starstruck and passive at MSG. Nah, that's not what I'm saying, man. So that we need to lose the usually. No, that's not what it. No. Listen, follow what I'm saying. I'm not bashing the kids. I'm not bashing the team. That's not what I'm doing right here, Paris Duggan. I'm not saying that Sims and Obi didn't look good. Follow me. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm talking specifically about people that have platforms that represent the Knicks. This is not about. Where's Casey Powell? Where's Knicks Fan TV at right now? Let me get CP. Let me hit CP real quick so I can tell him about this phone tag thing going on this show. Yeah, Paris, that's not what I'm saying. I'm joking, Paris Duggan. I'm joking, bro. But what I'm speaking to right now is not about Tibbs or the organization or the kids or even the Brooklyn Nets. What I'm speaking to at this moment is how people that represent the Knicks, like Stephen A. Smith, take every opportunity to bash the Knicks. And I'm frustrated by it. I'm not mad, right? I don't go mad or bonkers over stupid stuff. But I am frustrated by it. It was unnecessary. Right? It was like killing a fly with a hammer, a sledgehammer. That wasn't necessary. You don't need to kill a fly with a sledgehammer, bro. Come on, man. We had one of the best. Can y'all agree? Was this not one of the best halves of basketball that we've seen from this young Knicks team in a while? Neville Humphrey says, Uncle Freezy, these people do not represent us. They are just celebrity fans like so many of the elite teams have, and they can pay for courtside seats. Yo, and Mr. Humphreys, I dig it. I dig that aspect of it, right? You and I get it. But to a nationally televised audience, to a national audience who are outside of the New York market, they don't see it as that. They see him as a diehard fan. You feel me? They see him as a representative of this fan base. But truth be told, the representatives of this fan base are people like you and I. Like we talk Knicks all day long. All day long. We talk Knicks about 300 days a year. Here on this channel, on this YouTube channel, about 300 days a year. Most channels talk Knicks about 250, 200 days a year. That's included in the season and then some pop-ups during the summer. Well, we rock all summer. We rock all off season. Right? We mostly do 5 days a week. Some days, things I can't get out of, like business meetings, doctor's appointments, family in from out of town. I may miss some days, a day or two. And it's because of that. You got to have your priorities, right? You can't put the Knicks before your health or your family or your job. It just happens. It's one of the reasons why we kind of rolling a little bit late today. That and Chuck Allen was rocking on vibes and stuff this morning. Weekday mornings, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m.-ish to 9 a.m.-ish. Right? Hadouken is in the building. Hadouken says, yeah, RJ had a good first half and a disaster second. Plus, Tibbs is a damn fool for playing RJ 45 minutes in the whole fourth. Yeah, man. It's a lot of stuff, man. Right. So Neville Humphrey says, this is a mistake you making. He represents ESPN, not MSG. Nah, bro. No, you missing it. You missing what I'm saying. Stephen A. Smith says, hey, I've been a Knicks fan since such and such. And when he says that, that means he's representing the Knicks. I've been a Knicks fan since such and such. My Knicks can't do such and such. I wish my Knicks would do such and such. Right? That means he's representing the Knicks. I understand where he work at and who he root for are two different things. It's like we all have jobs, right? But that don't mean I can't talk about the Knicks at work. I get it. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, man. I do. But what I'm getting at is every time I turn around, somebody famous takes an opportunity to take a shot at the Knicks. Right? And it's just not, and why I would say it's not fair, but when you have the hammer, you got to wield it. When you have the hammer, you have to wield it. It's just what it is. All right, let me throw this link in the chat so I can start playing intros and all that stuff. Free Keep says, we got a treasure trove of picks and tradable contracts. It's going to be all right. Be patient. Right. I dig it. And so Paris Ducker says, how long are we going to kill Randall and his BS self, but cap for RJ and that brick layup crap? 7 for 27. Really? Yep. I'm getting to that. Yeah. The RJ Barrett not finishing at the rim thing is real. It's real. That is real, and we need to discuss that.
Hey,
Yo, what's up, bro?
what's good, bro? You can hear me, right? All good?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Um,
Man,
and,
my
and
face look big in here.
yeah,
Hold
you
on.
look like you right here. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
let me. Yeah,
Not only is the RJ thing, layup thing, real, it's been real.
right.
It's been a problem since Duke,
Yep.
and his defense has been atrocious as well.
Yep.
Which you got to go ahead and you have to ask the defensive genius Tom Thibodeau. When you have Evan Fournier, Alec Burke, and RJ Barrett as your perimeter defenders, could I make the argument that that is possibly the slowest trio of perimeter defenders in the league?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm with you on some things. Some things are too easy. Some things are too easy to evaluate. Like that is one. Why
Right.
would you have Burks, Fournier, and Barrett guarding perimeter players?
Me don't
All
know.
all three on the floor at the same time. Now I do understand that Grimes was out and McBride is dealing with a knee, and so he's playing limited minutes. I do dig that.
Right. I mean, that's what they're saying. He was kind of clutching it the game before, so could be something to that.
Right.
But I'm saying that if something's wrong with his knee, why is he even playing?
Why is he even playing? Right. Right.
So it's strange, strangeness.
Right.
But the RJ
Right.
thing is real, and I was gonna go here today, and I wanted to just lay down, and I know it's gonna be unpopular, and I can give a rat's butt.
Well,
You know,
as long as everybody understands that. So the thing I want to say to the chat, and some people have been asking me lately, and it's been strange. They were like, so why am I trying to force narratives into the universe? And so what I want to explain to everybody before Deep Poetic gets started is people can have their own opinion.
it's okay.
You don't have to share the same opinion as somebody else. It's the reason why we are all here right now.
That's the purpose.
Because ESPN won't let us walk on set and say whatever it is on ESPN. So platforms like this is the place for you to come share your opinions.
Yep.
And so while I'm saying what I'm saying is you don't have to agree with everything one person said. Like for instance, Paris Duggan and I don't always agree, right?
Right.
But I respect Paris Duggan's opinion.
Right.
The fact that he will state a smart opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I think people say is, man, well, I played basketball in high school, so if I could do such and such, then RJ can do such. No, man, it don't always work. Just let smart people with smart opinions state the opinion. If you ain't got nothing, if you like, for instance, if you're just mad that or not mad. Mad is on the road to lunacy, right? But if you're frustrated with the Knicks, just say you're frustrated.
Right.
I'm sorry. I had to put a disclaimer out before you get started so people won't think like you just went somewhere in a lab and came out with some weird hypothesis because you want attention. Nah,
Yeah.
that ain't
No.
how this thing works.
No, especially me, because I always back up everything with evidence or something to go by.
Right.
And plus, the whole point of the disagreement too is just that's okay. There's no reason for it to shoot the fair. There's no reason for people to call each other names and stuff like that. We're just talking basketball here, and everybody's going to see things differently, and that is okay. So, RJ Barrett, he's got a hell of a lot of proving to do next year before I ever think of getting him anywhere close to 120 to 150. Forget about the 180. I'm 180 is not even on the radar right now. He's just right now. He's not the guy. And I dropped little nuggets. Remember when I asked you like, hey, would you trade RJ before the trade deadline next year? If it looks about the same, or would you sign the max? Like dropping little hints like that because I've seen the patterns. I've seen the thread. I've studied the games. I've studied the math, the statistics. Be wary. You don't settle in life. Don't just settle because something's there. Always strive for something better.
Right.
If you sign RJ to a max and he playing like this, y'all settling. And y'all going to regret it. I don't care how old he is.
So RJ's max number, I think somebody said RJ's max number is 5 for 181.
I can tell you right now if you give me a sec.
Okay.
And give you, the exact. I didn't even get me started on Tibbs last night. It just doesn't read the game, bro. Just doesn't see what's going on. Okay, so after next year, his it'll be 5-year, 184, and his first year he'll be making 32 million.
Okay.
Yep. Peace to P Rose. Sorry to see you.
What's good, boss?
Not much, man. Just chilling. So.
Memphis Grizzlies. What's good? How are things in the city?
Yeah, I told you I live in Nashville, not Memphis. But
you live in Nashville? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
It's all good, though. It's all good.
My son live in Nashville.
Yeah. I live in Nashville when I'm not at school. So, but it's all good. Just
my mistake, bro.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
It's good, Kendall.
What's good, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Frustrated, bro. Frustrated.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
So, how else do we chop up this RJ Barrett thing?
What direction you want to go in?
I want the realistic direction.
No. I'm talking about the starting point. The starting point. So are you starting at? Is RJ a core piece? Are you starting at? Is he the franchise player? Are you starting at? He's only 21 years old. Are you starting at? The Knicks don't have a good supporting cast for RJ Barrett. Are you starting at? RJ Barrett needs another coach. Are you starting at RJ Barrett hasn't developed? I mean, there's a lot of.
Hey, I got you. Let's start off here. RJ Barrett has a lot of proving to do next year in order for him to be qualified to get a max.
Okay.
Because right now, it's not it, bro.
Yeah. I agree with you. My assessment of RJ Barrett, coming out of Duke, I knew he was going to be, a solid player. I never saw him as a number one. I still don't see him. I don't think he'll ever be a number one option in this league. He'll probably maybe a number 2 or number 3, but never a number 1. And that's the issue with giving him, that max money is that, usually when you give players, max money, you're sure that, they're going to be that top-notch number 1 guy on your team night in, night out.
Right.
So, my thing is he's going to get money, but if I was the Knicks, the offer I would have would be like, I would be in like the 115, I wouldn't go all the way to 180. I'll probably be in the 115 to 120, and he would have to show me. Like I would give that, and I might have like incentives that could lead into like incentive. It'll be an incentive based contract. Still be a good a 3 or 4 to 5 year deal, but have incentives to show, okay, we're giving you this, but you could earn more if you could show that you can improve on these areas where you're not, succinctly strong on.
Right. I heard that. How about you, Kendall? What are you thinking?
I mean, I agree with the 110 to 120 with the incentives, but for me, I'm just more like, sometimes it seems like it's a supporting class. Of course, he could do what he has to do to get better for himself, and I'm not saying that he's been, efficient, because he has not been. Games like that can't happen if you're going to be number 1, but lots of number 1s have games like that. Lots of number 1s, especially let's say Randall is now the number 2, right? Let's say, hold on.
Hey, let me bring my guy.
So I'm going to hold him to something real quick, but go ahead. It's good.
Keep it up,
Good
bro.
family. What's good, family? I hope everybody healthy. Just don't mind me. I'm just coming in to jump in and listen to the convo. I'm trying to balance out the energy.
Nah, we feel you.
But RJ, we was talking about RJ. Y'all go ahead.
Well, I was saying, lots of young number ones have those problems. If you look at Tatum, when he was very inefficient, in the beginning. Then he had to learn to pick his spots, learn when to be aggressive, learn when to get everybody else involved. But sometimes I be feeling like RJ feel like he got to put the team on his back and carry, which is a great thing to have. But he just got to learn when to pick his spots so he could be more efficient. I mean,
Okay.
and his supporting, how many young number one supporting cast is great like that?
Not
exactly.
few.
So look at his supporting cast as well.
I think, but the difference between Tatum, the thing is with Tatum is that his rookie year, like his first 2 years, Kyrie, Gordon Hayward gets injured first game, he out for the season. Kyrie gets injured right before the playoffs start, and he basically has to take the role of best player of the team. It's basically him, Terry Rozier, and Jaylen Brown. They basically take over the scoring load. The second year, that was Brad Stevens. I think I put that on Brad Stevens because he was just messing up the lineups. They was just nobody.
The Morris. You got to throw in Morris.
Oh yeah, Morris. Yeah, Morris. Yeah, I forgot about Morris. It was just like minutes was that. I think what you was right about him taking his spots. That was going into year 3 and year 4. But I think the difference is that I just don't think it. Like I knew coming out of that draft, Jason Tatum was that dude. RJ Barrett just isn't that dude. It's just like watching him at Duke. Everybody say, "Oh, he's more talented. He has this," but I saw time and time again. He like when the going gets tough, he is not that dude. Like he's a good number 2 or number 3, but he's not going to be that number 1. And like you can put the key, you can give him the keys. I just don't. It's just me personally, and what I've seen over the last few years, he just doesn't have the ability to be that guy that said, can you take us home?
Can I say this real quick?
Wait, hold on real quick, because P said something that I was going to box you in with, is that you just compared RJ Barrett to Jason Tatum.
Right.
But you did say that we've seen shot charts and shot distribution and percentages look just like number ones in this league. So when you said that, now I got to go ahead and say, well, let's go over the number ones in the league now.
Well, I'm talking about young number ones. We talking
so
21.
We could talk that one too.
Only person that's efficient like that at a young 21, number 21-year-old is Ja Morant. You can say Zion, because Zion is, all his shots come at the rim, but he don't play that much.
Zion plays a different position. Yeah. Let's talk to the wing position and lineage of the guys, right? So we're talking about the lineage, the Duke lineage, the Grant Hill, the Shane Battier, the Brandon Ingram, Jason Tatum, RJ Barrett, Gary Trent. It's like playing point guard for UCLA. It means something, right? And so you don't just put any guy don't just come to Duke and play the 3. They get like the best wing in the country to go play the wing at Duke, right? That's where the comparison starts. Now, I'm not saying that's where it ends, right? Jason Tatum, his inefficiency early on was different from RJ Barrett's inefficiency. Jason Tatum's inefficiency came from shot selection, right? It was like, oh, I got 2 subpar defenders on me. I could just shoot this J over 2 subpar defenders. No, Jason Tatum. 2 subpar defenders is still a double team, right? RJ Barrett's inefficiency is at the rim. Last night, you saw RJ Barrett miss 2 1-footers in the first half. 2 1-foot layups. One was short. How are you short on a 1-foot layup, RJ Barrett? Come on.
Nah, I agree. I agree with that. I agree that it is RJ Barrett that needs to be, get some of his stuff together to become that guy. But what I'm saying is that also talent. You show more talent when you have more talent sometimes.
Yeah, I won't disagree. What I'm saying is the inefficiency argument needs to have a deep dive into it, right? Because
Right.
players are inefficient because of different things. Like some players are inefficient because they don't have a jumper, right? They can finish at the rim, but they don't have. Like Ja Morant, his inefficiency came from people leaving him wide open from three, and he couldn't shoot the three early on. Jason Tatum came from shot selection. RJ Barrett is a high volume shot taker that's not efficient around the rim and not efficient from three.
Nah, I agree with that.
So where is he efficient at? He's not.
Here's another thing too, because I'm going back to the player comparison thing. We cannot put him in the category of guys. I don't care how old you are. Okay, of number ones inside this league. That is two different ballparks.
But he also
any type of statistical category.
But he also a number one now by default because the real number one on our team is not doing what he's supposed to do.
And but that's a little bit unfair because, like, if he is the number one, then who do you compare him to? Like that is the argument, is it not? Like, okay, like, is he a number one? And if you can't compare him to other number ones, then that's actually the argument making itself.
Yeah. So, like,
here's another thing. So let me say this one more thing. RJ's 21, right? Would you agree that he's slow-footed?
Yep.
Okay,
I think RJ definitely has speed issues.
Okay,
yeah, of course.
Right. That's what we're saying. So now, does RJ Barrett jump out of the gym? Is he vertical?
No.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Is he a fast player? Like, does he get from down to down like real fast, like other wings in this league?
He can. I've seen it.
He can when the young guys are playing together. They get up and down. He gets up and down with them.
No. What we're asking is RJ Barrett a quick twitch athlete? No.
Oh, you're talking about like how Obi just be
right. That's what I just said.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Nah.
Yeah. Okay.
Is he Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter? No.
Yeah, but how many Tracy McGrady, Vince Carters?
I didn't want to do that. Here's the point. When he's 24 or 25, will those legs get faster?
No, they will not.
Okay, all right. Will the vertical get higher?
No, they will
Will
not.
he be able to be that twitch athlete, as you said, as he gets older?
No, but at the
Something
same time,
keep an eye on.
But his
IQ and skill level will go up.
His IQ and skill level definitely can go up, and his actual efficiency. I think the things that he's actually deficient in that really, really hold him back. Because like there's other slow players. Luka is a top player in the league, and that dude is slow as hell. Like you know what I'm saying, it's and he can't jump, but it's a difference.
Luka reads the game at a level that RJ is nowhere near there.
That's what I'm saying. Those are the things that can improve. Those are the things that can improve. His efficiency can improve. He has, like, to me, like that's what's really holding him back is his inefficiency to be able to take the amount of shots that he's taking.
And I
think that can improve. This is only year 3, but you're right. The physical attributes probably won't improve.
I can take it a step further, Keith. How long has RJ been a number one? How long has RJ been a number one? He's only been a number one
you can't use
like
that.
3 months. But he only been a number one 3 months.
That's not the excuse, though.
Number one is a mindset, too, by the way.
Yeah. That's not the excuse. I'll give you that this is his 3rd season, though. This is only his 3rd season. And, improvement happens in bunches. Let it happen. I feel like it might be the pronouncement of him being a number one or not is a little bit maybe too premature.
I think.
Look, listen, that applies to Josh Jackson. That applies to all these guys that were in the lottery and flopped. OJ Mayo, we could all have the same argument for them. Here's the thing. The NBA lifespan is 4 years. RJ is approaching his 4th year. So therefore, we have to start seeing some major development out of certain areas if we're going to consider for him to be a piece that we're going to be moving forward as a core guy, fundamentally our number one guy, to give him that money.
Yeah, but that's kind of a stretch to say, if he don't get it by RJ is going to be more than OJ Mayo, Josh Jackson. He's already been more than OJ Mayo, Josh Jackson, and those guys. So I wouldn't
Really?
say like
He's already been more than OJ Mayo.
Really?
And to say being part of the core, that's different than saying being number one too. Like the
Well, you didn't hear
argument
everything I
of
said.
him being good enough to be in the core, I think I can intelligently say that like I can see him being part of the core. What position he plays in that core, totally up for argument, but I can definitely see his ability being useful towards a competitive team.
But what I said was that a core piece that we can move forward with him having the ball in his hand and him being the one. I didn't say one, but I said him being the guy. That's what I said. So it's the same thing, right? And then giving him the money. That's what I said.
I think it's just an inefficiency to me. Like, and just picking his spots and you know, scoring around the basket. You score if he gets some better touch, he'll be fine.
And I don't think he'll get a max. I don't think he'll get a max if he's not worth a max extension. Yeah. I don't think that would be. My fear of them giving the max to a guy who's not worth it, to him not being worth it. I think what if they do give him an extension, it's going to be commensurate to what they feel like the body of his work has been and where they feel he can go. But I don't think he'll get a max if he's not. That if next year is not looking like, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, like this is going to be a max player.
Exactly. And on top of that, it's like we always going to have to go back to him being 21. It's not now or never. It's not.
Nobody said that.
But the way y'all be sounding, be like, oh,
see that the way y'all be sounding, that's not what we said. We actually want him to work through his rookie contract, and then we want to evaluate it based on that.
I don't think he's gonna get the max though. I think that he'll sit down. He'll probably get a little more than Macau. He probably get a little more than Macau. So Macau got what, 80, 90?
And isn't the CBA when's the CBA up for when the new CBA convo coming up?
It's either this, I think it's next year.
23.
Because they're talking about the salary cap raising, like that it's probably going to be.
I think the cap's raising. It's going. It's probably going to raise. But my thing is, you said comparison. I think the only player I could compare him is probably like the DeJounte Murray. From the Spurs, like about how he was like, because DeJounte. He went from he didn't have like the same stock as as RJ coming out the draft, but like in terms of the last couple of years, being thrusted into that number one, especially this year, I think it's a similar state. So you can compare them, like in terms of statisticals, efficiency. I think DeJounte shooting 47% from the field. 33% from three, so similar, and then RJ shooting 40% from the field and 34% from the three. So it's similar, but I say in terms of like you do say he should play through his rookie contract.
Yeah, but
I don't want and I'm not saying because I'm always going to advocate for players to get their money. I'm always going to be as like
of
get
course.
your money, but I'm saying that. So some shit you gotta fix. You gotta fix the inefficiency. You gotta be able to hit shots inside the painted area consistently. Right. That's just a must. I'm not saying that you have to be, averaging like 30, 31 points a game, but like you should be like your team should be able to count on you. Like when I need a bucket, you should be able to get a bucket. There shouldn't be stretches where you're just mad. And
I agree.
So what we're doing is we're projecting a certain thing, but we should look at the little things.
Like that whack
as a player that gets to the free throw line 6+ times a game should not be shooting between 69 and 74% from the free throw line. Right?
That's a fact. And that's just you in the rim.
That's
right.
True.
Right.
That's true.
And so you have 10 seconds. You have 10 seconds to take your time and shoot your free throw, right? So RJ Barrett shooting between 69 and 74% for his career? That's disturbing. That's disturbing, bro.
What if he's playing like this next year?
You mean like what if he was playing like this last year? Yeah, like where is the improvement?
Then he doesn't get a max.
Exactly. You don't
He
have to
doesn't
give it
get
to
a
him.
max.
It's not you don't have to give it to him.
You don't have to get. Yeah.
Would you explore seeing the market? Because the whole thing, I think that if the Knicks are smart, right, they should use him in high volume like they have been, get his trade capital up as high as possible, and then if they feel that he's not being efficient as the way he could be, and it's still a trend that's going on, because after 4 years, you got to admit that's a pattern. And it's something to be noteworthy of. So would you put him in the trade market and see what you could get for him coming next trading deadline if he does play the same way inefficient?
I mean, you could do that.
That's an option.
But I feel like this. You could do that, but then you got to look at, like, is he in that same offense? Is he still playing with the same roster? Those things factors in a lot of things.
Does he have a point guard?
Because this offense is trash. There's no space in there. No
argument there.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you playing in the same offense, the same system, how can you like evaluate that? It's like I can't approve myself. I can't. If we say we all are friends, but we all friends and we hanging out, and none of us is doing anything with our lives, and I'm not. We're still saying that you the company you keep. And how am I gonna improve my life if I'm hanging around the same people doing the same things over and over again? You still
stealing now and laters from the corner store and you 27?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, is he gonna be on the same nasty roster? This roster is disgusting. I wouldn't even want to be part of this roster.
That's a fact.
Well, let me.
The roster is not. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's not that bad, but
y'all really jumping out the window. Like, we don't got things on that joint. Like,
it's not y'all.
You know
one person
who reminds me of being in a very Knicks.
One person said that.
And who's jumping out of the window?
One person said that.
Excluding like 4 or 5 players.
The Lakers are who we would normally be.
Don't make me call Knicks fan TV on you, Freak Thief, because he said, man, Knicks fans do be playing that phone tag thing. Don't make me call Casey Powell on y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is we all have different views on what the roster looks like.
I think that cats are just being a little bit too over dramatic about like how bad the roster is. I think what we need is a better offensive coordinator or offensive coaching to put those pieces together. But we're all seeing with our eyes that we got things, like even among these young boys, like we got things like it's not. This is not like the bad season ending of like Knicks of just five years ago. Like, we literally are not. Our backs are not against the wall. We are actually seeing. I mean, it's coming out of a lost season, but we're seeing these young boys were actually very good lottery picks, and we got. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that who's having a very Knicks year. The Lakers. The Lakers are having a very traditionally Knicks year. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, we have the third or fourth lowest salary. Like, the CBA is going, the salary cap is going up. Noah's money is about to drop off. Our back is not against the wall.
Okay. So just to compare, this is why I say we should give RJ his 4th year. To really assess where we see him and is he in the future, what do we pay him, stuff like that. And I'll give you a couple of examples that I just got off the top of my head. Giannis in his 4th year of his rookie contract averaged 23 points a game. And the year prior to that, he averaged 17. So you keep that, right? Somebody mentioned Stephen Curry, no problem. And Stephen's 4th year, he averaged 23 points a game from the year previously where he was at 15.
Oh, he was out for most of that season, though.
Which season?
The year he averaged 15, he was out for most of that season with the ankle.
That is very correct. But he did play 78 the next year, and he did go up to 23.
Right, and his points per game not points across the season.
And also too, Tracy McGrady went from year 3 at 15.4 to 27. And there's a lot more players. I just wanted to bring a couple just to prove the point that not jump it out the window on RJ Barrett. I'm not saying throw him somewhere and get a draft pick or 2 for it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that he's been wildly inefficient throughout his career, and he has a lot of proving to do in this 4th year in order to determine where he stands moving forward.
That's true,
I
but
agree with
didn't he just jump from 17 to 20 this year? If we're going by that logic, we just got to do it efficiently.
Yeah, the number of shots are up. The field goal percentage is way down. It's down 4 points.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. He got to do it efficiently.
Next year is a big year.
That's because of heavy shot volume, though, Kendall. He's taking more shots than he did, so he better be scoring more if he's taking more shots.
Because he's shooting more shots and scoring less efficiently than last year.
But isn't that what
so?
we
If
wanted?
he was, but no, hear me out. Right? No, what we wanted was RJ to build on last year's success. Now we know development is not linear. Like it doesn't go in an arrow up like this. We understand that, right? But what we wanted from RJ is development doesn't always mean taking more shots. Development also could mean, like we said about Jason Tatum, understanding shot selection, time and score, game situations. Last night, RJ cross half court. Every Brooklyn net was back. Every Brooklyn net on the court was back, and RJ went to the paint, did a nice spin move off of somebody, and kicked the ball out of bounds.
Nah, I agree with what you're saying. I agree with
Shot
everyone
selection.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like he got to pick his spots.
And that doesn't have nothing to do with skill set. That's IQ right there.
Right.
That tells you I'm one against all these people. Whoa, let me slow it down. I really don't want to force the issue to get up and down the floor with these guys because they got more finishing. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody. Good early afternoon. Great man. Everybody in the chat. But I'm gonna give RJ just a little bit of benefit of doubt. And this is why I'm gonna give him a little bit of benefit of doubt. And I'm not going to judge RJ's game really until next year. Because RJ is a player that he didn't know he was going to become this year. RJ was not supposed to be the player that he is this year due to the fact the way the roster was. You know, now he's been forced into this issue to play this role that he didn't know he was going to become. Now in the offseason, you know the player that you want to be. You want to be the man. You want to be number one. You got to develop all those access during this offseason. So next year, you can really tell what you are. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it right now because he wasn't meant to play this role. When the season started, he was supposed to be the third, perhaps maybe the fourth option. Now, everybody falling off the cliff. You know what I'm saying? And the record is bad, and he is playing bad, and our number one player, he went crazy on us. We forced the hand into RJ and gave him a position that he wasn't really prepared to play. So, me personally, I'm going to wait to see how he's going to develop his skill sets during this off season and how he gonna come back. If you're gonna come back wanting to be the number one, as you are being protected right now, then I need to see those things next year when the season starts. You playing as the number one guy on this team. So just me personally, I'm gonna give him a little bit of benefit of doubt because he didn't come into that.
He's a notoriously slow starter, though. Every year, RJ starts off slow.
He's got to change all that.
Can't do that next year. Can't do that next year.
All that. All that is part of us. But all of that's part of us trying to give him this money. You got to come totally different from what you been doing. Totally different.
Exactly.
You got to come in
here. You
want
that money? Go take that money.
Or he's not number one or number two. Maybe he's just not. Yeah. And I feel like that's just not bad either. Like, why just ship him off because he's not number one?
Here's the problem. The problem becomes is that because we're searching for a number one because we don't have a number one, and it's not in the draft this year. I mean, hopefully, if we move up, maybe we can get something close to it. But it's not in the draft. It's not going to be developed right now, and it's not going to be done through trade, unless you might get a Donovan. But a Donovan, we can make that argument: is he a true one guy in this league? And that whole not. The point is we don't have a one, and we can't keep on going the years without establishing that piece first, because that's how you build your team. So you got to get that piece, and you got to build that piece, and then you got to build the core members around them, and then you start getting competitive in that whole nine. That's the thing, we don't have it, so we have to be short patience with it.
It's hard, it's hard to find. It's gonna be you're right, because I'm looking at the draft this year. You have a lot of dudes that have the talent to be the number one, but I don't know about their basketball IQ. It's not that's really the only issue. And in terms of, you said Donovan, Donovan, he has all the intangibles to be a number one. It's just when it comes to clutch time, I mean, he just got to be better decision making. It's just because what I saw last year in the playoffs against the Strippers, it was unacceptable because they should have won that shit. But with RJ, I think if it's just making better decisions and understanding, what I got to do to help my team win. Sometimes I'd be like, bro, if you got a mismatch on you, you get that switch on the big man. Fuck that shit. 1-4 flat and get to the fucking rim and get to the fucking foul line. Like you got the speed, you got the power, and the athleticism to get to the rim and get to the free throw line, but you got to be making at least 85 to 90% of your free throws. Like if you're getting it 6-7 times, you got to be making 6 out of the 7 or 7 out of the 8 or something like that.
We'll be go with 80%.
But 80%, because what are you shooting 69, 70% right now?
Somewhere around there.
That's especially, bro, that's those are points. Those are free points. You got 10 seconds. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he be taking 25,000 seconds to shoot a free throw, but his shit improving. But dang.
Hey, P Rose. Hey, you owe me about $13 for all the cussing you did. I expect to get it in a super chat.
I'm so sorry about that.
I was like, whoa.
And he did say the Los Angeles Strippers, which I thought that was interesting. I was like, damn, I didn't go. What was that?
No, we call them the Strippers because they got stripped down by Denver in the bubble.
That's about you.
We got to keep in mind about our young core that, man, actuality, man, we are right where we're supposed to be with our young core. The problem is last year we went to the playoffs and none of us expected us to go to the playoffs. So then we went to the playoffs. Now we come back this year, we're looking for us to be at another upper area than where we're supposed to be. But I think right on cue far as, where our young ones are supposed to be at. They just developing a little bit slower because of some of their games, and then because of some of the staffs, and then because of some of the leadership on the floor. You know what I'm saying? But I think we right where we at, man. Right? I think we right where we supposed to be at.
And I agree with Jay Boogie. As far as with RJ, we know I'll be sitting there telling him all right, I know you can get the points. I know you can get me 25. I know you can get me 30. But can you do it in a way that's efficient? Can you get others involved? Can you learn not to go up on 5 people? Can you do that? And then come back next year as I want to be the number one. I'm a train like the number one. Let me go against the elites. I'm being in the gym with everybody and learn how to play. And defensively, I understand he's slow footed, and I understand that you can't be getting cooked. But certain players you won't get cooked by. Bottom line.
And real quick, Deez, I'm glad you're here today because Freezy was trying to roast me, take advantage of me yesterday, going on the chat, trying to have me in front of the screen like I had a computer crashing, dropping my stock on podcasts and everything.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Freezy, man. Come on, you can't just throw dudes in the fire like that, man.
I just can't throw them straight to the So to quote Grand Pooba, a lot of people think this is easy as it looks. You know what I'm saying? That's why I do. Hey, Jay Boogie, I got something for you though. You ready?
The winner of the 2022 AT&T Slam Dunk Contest from the New York Knicks. Let's hear it for Obi Toppin.
I figure I spread some love and some joy amongst us, you know what I'm saying? Represent for my young fella. Yeah, Obi. When I put this on your head, Obi. When I smash this on your head, I'm Obi. When I bang this on your head, I'm Obi. You know my name when I'm topping on your head. Last year they jerked this from the dunk test. This year I'm back, you know I'm Movex. I hold it down my own, represent the city. All my Mars underground chat stay gritty. 5 times we winners on the showcase. Never mind the Reggies, let them all hate. From New York to Cleveland, All-Star Weekend. If I don't win that trophy, I ain't leaving. 6'9", incredible with the vertical. Medical prints on the rim means I'm surgical. Posterize you with a flick cause you playing gutter. Same house like my dad when he played at the Rucker. How you wanted the alley-oop from out the roof. If I was Blake, I would've jumped over a new coupe. My shoe game by the greatest, so I stay sporting. Some OB hot topping, so I went Jordan. That windmill from the wing, it'll make the garden buzz. Then take off with one bounce where Fat Joe was. The next morning, everybody saying it's my night. The great Warner will be talking on my highlights. That one jersey be swerving through the back cuts. And I ain't drunk when I tell Quick to throw it up. Get out my way, you ain't seen that no look pass. The next dunk might Darryl Dawk and break your glass. When I put this on your head, I'm Obi. When I smash this on your head, I'm Obi. When I bang this on your head, I'm Obi. You know my name when I'm topping on your head, I'm Obi. When I put this on your head, I'm Obi. When I smash this on your head, I'm Obi. When I bang this on your head, I'm Obi. You know my name when I'm topping on your head. Last year they jerked this from the dunk test. This year I'm back, you know I'm Movex. I hold it down my own, represent the city. All my Mars underground chat stay gritty. 5 times we winners on the showcase. Never mind the Reggies, let them all hate. From New York to Cleveland, All-Star Weekend. If I don't win that trophy, I ain't leaving. Y'all know what time it is. It's your boy J Boogie. I don't play no games with this. I support our team to the fullest, you know what I'm saying? But I only got one thing to say. Play the young kids, that's it. Y'all know where our future is at. The future is with them. Not in the past, not in the present, the future. Let's go. Let's go. When I bang this on your head, I'm Obi. You know my name when I'm topping on your head, I'm Obi.
Fire.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Freezy, for turning that song up even another notch, man. And as long as he's playing pretty good, man. But in Atlanta, he should have won it in Atlanta. But like I said, 5 times we winners on the showcase. You know, we was tied with Atlanta for 4 chips, and it was no way in the world it was that Dominique Spud, which was the judges, was going to let us get that 5th one in their building. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, so Neville Humphreys, thank you for the generous contribution. Neville Humphreys says, I know I'm going to be very controversial here, but our number 1 is Obi Toppin.
Hey. I would love him to come here and articulate that argument and see how that goes.
Yeah.
Well, right now he got the number 1 hit on the team, but nah, he's not the number 1 player.
And Jay Boogie, here's another thing too. Every time they spin your record, you should be asking, "Where's your royalties at, man?"
Yeah, bread.
Well, you know, it actually I only put the video out. I didn't release the song. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I only put the video out. You know what I'm saying? Because I just wanted to do something different. But yeah, actually, the song got a second verse to it, but we're gonna wait and see what's gonna happen as far as, you know, upcoming season, if he's gonna still be on the roster and all that. I just want to do that just to, you know, give us some love, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we was going through a whole lot amongst the team, man. I just wanted to bring some type of enjoyment, you know, some type of way that, you know, how we was going, because we was going at it for a while, man. Like
the vibes, yeah. Hey, Alfred Griffin, thank you for the generous contribution. Mr. Griffin says, I got you, Unc. LMAO. BIM.
It's very nice of you, Alfred. Thank you, sir.
Man. Appreciate you, man. So anybody Ray, I want to introduce this to you, right? To you and some others. Want to get your feedback on it. I wanted to hear something from D'Angelo too, right? Anybody notice that in big games, Emmanuel Quickley disappears? Is that just me? that Emmanuel Quickley disappears in big games?
Uh-oh.
Like he's really strong, weak competition, but in big games he disappears. I'm not dissing Quickley. I'm not dissing because I don't know if teams are game planning for him or if he just doesn't rise to that challenge. I'm hoping that teams are game planning for Quickley and decide to take him out of the game as opposed to him just disappearing in big games.
He looked horrible last night. If you're going to go based on last night's game, he looked horrible. He looked very resistant shooting the ball. He just didn't look like Quickley usually looks like. Not afraid to shoot the ball, doing stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know about that statement. If he's afraid of in the big moment. It's not his mentality, that kid. So I don't see it. Last night he just had a bad game.
Okay.
He looked very resistant to taking shots. Just looked like he was just very passive. I don't know.
I noticed that in the Philly games too. Tyrese Maxey was taking
Crowned
it to
him.
him. Yeah.
Crowned him.
Yeah.
And it's other. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No. Please finish your point, please.
So I don't want to think that Emmanuel Quickley does not have that next level dog in him. My hope for Quickley the whole time is that's the thing that's going to push him to the next level, is that next level dog, right? I don't care who we playing. I'm going to still get mine. I was hoping that was good. Y'all remember how I used to tell y'all that I thought my personal opinion was Emmanuel Quickley was crazy? Like no matter how much Tibbs yelled at him, he was like, that's all you got, Tibbs? Keep yelling. I need more of that yelling. Come on. I need more of that. You remember Derrick Rose did the interview? They was like, who's the craziest person on the team? And Derrick Rose was like, yo, without a doubt, it's Emmanuel Quickley. you know how they do the little shorts, the MSG shorts, where they interview the players and all that? Like, what's your favorite karaoke song? Who's the craziest person on the team? All of that. Who's the most dependable? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Derrick Rose was like, Emmanuel Quickley is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out, is this a trend or I don't know. I don't know how to ask it. Can somebody help me with that?
Yeah. I think, and salute to the chat, by the way, salute to the panel, salute to everybody. Hit that like button and subscribe. I think Emmanuel Quickley, it's so weird, and it goes back to the question of is he a point guard? And, the constant debate surrounding that. I think it has a lot to do with him overthinking the game because he has to overthink the game. He's kind of sort of playing a little out of position. We all remember him coming out of Kentucky being an off-ball guard. And the lights are not too bright for him, but his decision-making, I mean, it's got to be the number one thing he works on this offseason. I've said it, since last year. He needs to become more decisive. And I think yesterday was the perfect example of him just overthinking it and not knowing what to do. He dribbled, pounded the air out the ball numerous times on the bring up, and he's running around in circles like it's Globetrotters or something, like the Harlem Globetrotters. And it's just, I just want to see him become more decisive. That's all I want from Emmanuel Quickley.
Yeah. So you think he's in his own head like a little way too much?
I think so, man, and it showed on the floor. Like there were a couple times it was just kind of like he thought about making the dish or going up because I wanted him to take over the game. By the time the third quarter came around, I was like, I need Emmanuel Quickley to take over this game because RJ is just out here looking at the entire Brooklyn that's like, oh, it's me versus you guys. So he had a little bit of Randall in him. And I needed Emmanuel Quickley to step up. But every time he made a decision, he stopped. And it was just kind of like, yo, bro.
Well, here's the thing to consider, right? When you're playing Alec Burke 40 damn minutes and primarily playing your point guard, when that responsibility and those minutes and those sets should be allocated to IQ, it can mess with you a bit. Because it's like, whoa, like, listen, am I the point guard or not, bro? Like, can I get these reps off so then I become a better point guard for you next year, seeing that most likely we're not getting one because Rokas already said he might not be coming?
Right. That's the theme that should be the theme of the season for the players. everybody is playing out of position to some degree. Man. All right, what up?
What's going on, partner?
What's good with you?
But that's sorry.
So what I was gonna say, see, last night is not that game to make this argument with, right? So because here's the thing, you can't tell me a defensive rotation of Patty Mills, Seth Curry, and Kyrie Irving is gonna shut down Emmanuel Quickley, right? If it was a Lonzo Ball and an Alec Caruso type situation where they were rotating defensive guards on the Quickley, I could dig it. But Kyrie Irving, Patty Mills, and Seth Curry,
yeah.
Come on, bro.
I mean,
Hey,
Seth can defend. Seth can defend. Like Seth can defend. Like he ain't like his brother who just can't defend. But Seth can defend. But like you're right. I think last night was just he was just in his own head. Now when they played the I think when they played the Bulls, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, when he shot 1 for 5. I think that was more defensively because the Bulls got defensive guards and everything.
Right. And when they switch onto like the DeRozans, who's not a bad defender,
but he long.
Yeah,
and then against the Sixers, look, I felt bad for him because Tyrese Maxey just took his soul from his body and sent him to the shadow realm, bro.
Sure did.
He drug it.
Yeah,
right.
but
what I'm saying is that the argument that we're making now, and I see it in the chat, like it's just one game, right? I get that, but this is a up and down track meet against a team that doesn't play defense, and their coach is the poster boy for guards that were up and down the court and didn't play defense.
But can we be honest about IQ in this regard? He's not really elusive like Kyrie Irving. He doesn't have a
no, nobody is.
Like, he doesn't
but that's not what. But
he
that's
just
not.
blows past you and then stops you.
Yeah, he uses his speed to get past people.
But I'm not talking about IQ defending Kyrie. I'm talking about those guys defending Quickley.
No, that's
is what I'm saying.
It's a little easier. Listen, it's hard to stay in front of a Kyrie Irving if you don't have a solid base. It's Kyrie Irving. As far as I'm concerned, you're just gonna get got. That's just what it is.
But when you're a young guy like that, and you got you know what I'm saying, you got broken down knees in front of you, and that's one of Quickley's weak points. It's not being able to get by the guy that's in front of him. Patty Mills is not supposed to ever stay in front of you quickly. Curry is not supposed. Them guys are not supposed to be able to step and stay in front of you because they've never been defensive player and they're much older. And you're much younger. But it's it's approach. It's how you approach the game. You got to approach the game with a stronger mindset. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give him a little credit about Maxey because Maxey did his thing the last time, but you remember, the game, I think the game before, he crushed Maxey too. You know what I'm saying? He had him falling on the floor and all that there. But the difference between the great ones, when they know they kill you and the second time around, they know you coming back, you coming for revenge, the great ones kill you again. And that's the type of approach that Quickley has to have in his mind frame. I don't care if you coming back. I'm going to kill you again. Until he reached that peak, he's still going to be the little drummer, man.
Right, right. Oh, go ahead.
And what was terrible for IQ is that we've been mathematically out how many games now? The last, 3 or 4 games?
Yeah.
And IQ has not still primarily ran that point guard, not one time.
So, real quick, shout outs to all of you guys. Appreciate all of you guys, Jay Boogie. Man, Ron Cleveland, my guy with the glasses, looking like he a detective and all that.
He the coolest.
My guy up in that corner. So, I heard everything that y'all said. And I actually was at the game last night. So I was paying attention to 2 things while I was at the game. What sets do the Knicks run? 1. And 2, how do the Knicks play offense in person? So yesterday, I watched the Knicks go up 70-50, right? It's the beginning of the third.
Right.
So we go up 70-50.
Hit the 3 out of halftime. We hit the 3 out of halftime. Yep.
So did y'all notice Tibbs ran the same play 5 straight times where he had Alec Burks post up
on Kyrie Irving?
Yes. So after those 5 plays, remember, we stayed on 72 points. for about 5 minutes. And while we stayed on 72 points, my cousin was right next to me. He taps me. He goes, yo, the Knicks need a point guard so bad, bro. And I looked at him and I'm like, yo, bro, we have nobody to calm our offense. We was all over the place. The Knicks run bad sets. I'm watching Emmanuel Quickley. Now, y'all just say he couldn't get past Patty Mills. Okay, cool. Patty Mills is a vet, bro. He's been played this game for multiple years. So I'm looking for Tibbs to help out our young guys and give them screens and off-ball actions in order to get these guys good shots. No coach with a proper brain has RJ Barrett and Quickley running ISOs with nobody else moving off the ball.
And Burks.
I don't know what y'all seen, but that's what I seen.
I'm gonna tell you,
State, you telling me?
I'm gonna tell you what I seen because I'm right in line with State. I'm right in line with State. The reason why we lost that game last night, second half, the ball stopped moving.
Yes.
The reason why we got the lead, ball was moving. And playing against a team that can't play defense, you're gonna kill them dead. They don't have no individual destroyers on that team on defense, man. And if they would have kept moving that ball, I got so mad with Alex Burks last night. I said he think he Julius Randle tonight. I ain't so Burks the whole and then Tibbs. I'm glad you brought Tibbs up because Tibbs teed me off last night too. You sat Obi on that bench for most of the third quarter. You brought him in with like 4 minutes left in the third quarter, and then Obi hardly was touching the ball after that. And Obi was one of your most efficient players last night.
For that night.
And also, too, he had a mismatch. He had Seth Curry, he had Kyrie Irving, and somebody else on him, and they only exploited that mismatch once.
Yeah.
The whole fourth quarter. And when he did, he threw a dope pass to RJ out of the double team, and RJ took that consistent three instead of swinging it to IQ.
In the lack of adjustment, when the Nets went small and they put Kevin Durant at the 5.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, I'm waiting to see him adjust. He didn't make no adjustment to that. And then what the kicker was, I'm looking at RJ. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, RJ better get his behind in the gym because really the only thing RJ got is going to the basket. And them free throws, my God, he can't shoot free throws.
So can I shoot a question at you, Ron? Can I shoot a question at you? If you know RJ Barrett is a North and South player, he's not East and West. Why the hell are you having my boy who has a 3-year-old dribble? I'm a biggest RJ fan out there. The kid hand was terrible. You got him doing an ISO? Come on, OG. RJ Barrett.
You got to help him out.
So I'm watching Steve Nash. I know he's not a good coach. No, he probably is a good coach. But he did something specifically that messed up the Knicks the third quarter. He kept running down screens for Kevin Durant. And once you do running down screen and Kevin Durant coming around that curl, it's over. But
Hubie Brown said they ran it. Hubie Brown said they ran it 3 times in a row, the same play.
I watched the same. Shout out to Hubie Brown. He's like 90. He's sharp as a knife.
He can still coach.
No, he really is.
Yo, my man Ancient, it was calling it out.
Yep.
Man, I was texting Freezy during that game, man. I was starting to get real hot. I'm like Tibbs, and that's why. How in the world can they say Tibbs is coming back, man? Tibbs being his own way too much, man. I'm sick of that. That guy gonna lose us more games that we should win, and I'm sick of that, man. Y'all ain't sick of that?
Yeah, it's all good.
He got 3 years guaranteed, so it ain't got nothing to do with the Knicks.
I mean, he'll be here.
We got to get him up out of here.
20 games next season, and that's it. It's a wraps.
But you know what though? The same play, but to Hubie Brown's credit, he also pointed out that Tibbs ran the ISO in the post for Obi Toppin 3 times in a row, right? And Obi with Seth Curry on him faked the pass and then looked to score and kicked it back out to Alec Burks. Mm-hmm. If you're a powerful, this was always my beef with Obi. Bro, you being guarded by Seth Curry in the low post and you're looking to pass. That's not a Tom Thibodeau thing. That's an Obi Toppin being more assertive thing.
Oh,
And
But I'm gonna tell you this, Breezy. Obi has been being more assertive now. I can't let you get over.
No. Well, I can't let you do that because what you're saying is when Obi Toppin is in a post with a small guard on him, and he's not assertive just because he was assertive the play before that in the flow of the offense. Those two things don't connect. What I'm saying is in that moment, a big has to take advantage of a small, right?
Agreed.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
But it's also it's his fault, and it's also on the team.
That man got the mismatch. You need to get him the ball.
It's also on the team as well. The team has to communicate that, and including the coaching staff. Take them. Take them. You see? So it's a hand-to-hand thing.
Man can't throw the ball to himself, man.
No. I'm talking about when he caught the ball in the post and he has the small guard on his back. I just said Tibbs shouldn't have to tell this dude to take advantage of a mismatch.
9 times out of 10, when we see him with a mismatch, he been killing them. He been killing them when he get the ball. Now that might have been just one blimp on the radar.
What I notice is that when he seals his mismatches, he's very comfortable. Okay, well, hold on, let me finish. When he seals his mismatches, he's very adept to that. He does that very well. He does a good job showing the hand. He does have a problem operating out of the mid post and backing down whoever. It doesn't matter who he is. It has a really big problem with that. Right. So that's stuff that they could work on. That's stuff that's his fault, and that's stuff that's the coaching staff's fault as well. So you got to put all that together in one basket.
That's right there. That backing down stuff.
That's where I want RJ to take. You know what I'm saying? Show his you know what I'm saying, his IQ at. Yo, what are you doing? Take him. Put him in that bucket. See, those are the type things I need RJ to do. You know, we all remember that All-Star game with Kobe and LeBron and Melo and all, and they got on LeBron and taking the ball out of him. What are you doing? This is your time. That's what I need. That's what I need for RJ to do. You know we slide you into this role as the guy. We want to talking about you being the franchise player. But these are the things that you have to do, you know what I'm saying, that show that that's what you are. Not just putting the ball in the basket, making a basket, talking to your players, getting them in the right position.
Being a floor general.
He did not huddle them guys up like not one time. Yo, this is the 75th anniversary game. That's why it's on TV. What are we doing? We can't. That's what I need from RJ.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. He got to develop in that area big time. But I'm not going to let RJ off the hook neither. Like we got to hold him accountable, man. RJ was good for half.
But with the Obi thing,
and then he disappears. And if he's hot in the first half, he's cold in the second. It's rare that RJ has a complete game where he's just consistent the whole game. The one thing he is consistent about is going to the basket.
Right.
But RJ is becoming, to me, I'm looking at a volume score.
You're wrong.
Huh?
Did you know RJ played 21 minutes in the first half? And did you know he was guarding a 7-foot monster? Like y'all gotta understand.
I ain't just talking about this game, Steve. I'm talking as a whole, man. I've been reserving judgment on
how many times you seen RJ played with the kids this season? We talking about Obi Toppin not learning how to post up. Why is he posting up anyway? That's not his game. He should be cutting to the basket. He should never be posting.
It was in Dayton.
Hold on, Mom. Tibbs is over here in the 1990s with his team. He's running post-ups. What person on this team would you run a post-up for? That is stupid. We don't have a Karl Anthony Towns. The reason why we lost this game is because of Tibbs.
I got to jump off. Handle business, y'all. God bless you.
All right, Jeff.
All right, Boogie. RJ Barrett shot tour dates. And Deuce McBride only played 9 minutes, by the way.
I think it was actually 7.
Yeah, he hurt. Yeah, he hurt, bro. He got a knee injury.
Yeah, them knees howling. But yeah, man, there's a lot of things Tibbs could have done to help the team out last night, man. But like I said, RJ got to get some of this too, man, because them free throws, man, we can't gloss over that. We can't gloss over that, man.
Right.
You're gonna be the guy on this team. You have to hit your free throws, man, especially in big games, man. Right. You got to hit your free throws. And RJ wilts a lot of time. I'm gonna tell you, anybody in here confident when he go to that free throw line that he gonna make them?
No, we're not.
Okay. Exactly. So that tell you right there, he needs to work on that, man. And my goodness, do something other than just going to the basket all game and shooting a long three. Do something else, man. He got to diversify his game, or he gonna be in trouble. Don't fall in love with one thing that you do great and forget the other aspects of your game.
Ray, I'm gonna.
RJ, he will develop that, because if anything that we've seen as a fan base is that RJ has developed year in, year out.
I kind of disagree with you on that, but
What'd you say, Ray? I didn't hear that. What Ray said?
I personally think that RJ will develop that. Not just because he's called up, but the consistency or the evidence that's been shown is that every single year he's improved in something. Now, I don't know if he needs to, just sit in the gym and shoot free throws and whatnot, so that way he's not, hampered, or he becomes a threat even when he's that efficient at the rim. But he will get it together. I mean, yes, it's only but so long we can keep running with this narrative of him being 21, because at some point he's not going to be 21. But I'm confident that he's going to pull it together, because that's just RJ.
Yeah, this is year 3.
Freezy, we just circle around back to RJ Barrett.
Yeah, we can stop talking about
It's crazy.
But let's go one at a time, y'all. Let's start getting some order in here. Too many people talking way too over.
Yeah.
So
man.
let's go one at a time, y'all.
So we started with RJ, and then we talked about Obi, and then we talked about Quickley, right? I think we alluded to part of the point that is the major problem for this New York Knicks team, and it's because it's so I look at this differently. Just be patient with me and hear it out, because I'm not trying to force a narrative. This is my observation, right? I think Tom Thibodeau runs basic stuff because you're trying to teach young kids basic offenses, basic offenses and defenses, and have them learn as they go and how to make adjustments. I think what happened is when you try to have exquisite offenses and defenses with young players, and they make you get too much, they get information overload, then you got to sit them. And so we don't want the kids to sit. We want the kids to play.
Okay.
So you keep it simple for them, so they can build confidence and learn as they go along. What happened defensively last night? Obi got roasted a few times on the Brooklyn Nets ran the same play over and over and over again. And what happened is in the switch, RJ Barrett was switched on to Kevin Durant because Obi was rubbed off. Obi got rubbed off. RJ is like, oh, I got him. And it's you wind up getting Patty Mills, RJ Barrett having to choose between Patty Mills at the top of the key or scramble all the way back over to Kevin Durant at the top of the key. And what happened was RJ would pick his poison with one and the other would hit because our guy would get rubbed off a screen, right? That's not totally Tibbs' fault there. And I understand what people are going to say. Well, why did Tibbs trap up top to force the ball out of Kevin Durant's hand? Well, because it's Kevin Durant. That's why you do that. You trap. You remember when he trapped up top? Remember you saw Jericho Sims all the way up top, out away from the rim?
Yeah,
forcing the trap. Yeah, to get the ball out of Kevin Durant's hand.
Yeah, let somebody else beat you. That's the oldest adage in sports, man.
Right.
Don't let the guy you know gonna kill you.
Right, because Kyrie was off, so you could afford to let Alec Burks go defend one-on-one with Kyrie because Kyrie didn't have a great shooting game. Right. So now you got RJ Barrett on weak side trying to defend two guys because you're trapping on the other side of the floor and making the offense throw a perfect pass to a guy that's on the weak side of the floor. That's a great gamble because one, if you have an elite defender that can play passing lanes, you could probably pick some of those off or at least deflect them. And two, you take a lot of time off the shot clock. But you have to have guys like Obi have to be good decision makers and they have to be tough. They have to be strong in the wash. You can't get caught up in the wash. And Obi was getting caught up in the wash last night. Now listen, I don't want to bash Obi because overall I think he
thank goodness, Breezy, because I sure was getting ready to ask you with this Obi bash there, man. I sure was about to ask you.
No, but what was he gonna ask?
RJ too now.
No, but nobody. Ron, what I'm saying is nobody's perfect. There is enough blame to go around. The fact of the matter is this team is young and we have to learn through that. Today, I'm sure they're talking to Obi about rerouting, taking different routes, right? If you know this guy is going to screen, he did it 2 times in a row down, and it looks the same on the third time. You got to understand that this dude is set. They're game planning this. They want to screen you, Obi. So now you have to reroute. Right? You got to understand that this dude's job is to screen you so Kevin Durant can pop up at the top of the key for three. Or at the very least, call it out to somebody so they can scramble to that so that they can take your place. Right? And so what I'm getting at is I don't necessarily want to blame Tibbs totally for the defense last night, because in the grand scheme of things, in an up and down game, the Knicks only took 83 shots. In an up and down game, the Knicks took 83 shots.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Think about it. In an up and down game, the Knicks scored 98 points. In an up and down game.
Yep.
So we can't blame Tibbs for all of this. At some point, we have to start accepting that our young players are learning as they go, right? I'm not saying the young players are bad. I'm not saying that they're great either. I'm just saying they're playing, they're getting these minutes, and they're learning the NBA game. You have to give them some time to adjust. We can't just point to 7 for 27 from RJ Barrett and say, that's the reason why we lost.
Well, you can't.
Here's another thing too, though. Wait, hold on. There's another thing too, that when you go ahead and you put Obi on that block, right, and he doesn't take advantage of it, and then everybody gets on him, I could show y'all a mad video when Randall went through the same thing zillions of times this year. If Obi, for example, did a switch onto something, I could show you a gazillion times Evan Fournier and Alec Burks being completely lost on rotations and screens and where to go. So it's a team thing.
Right.
And it is on Tibbs to a certain degree, because he has to go ahead and give him that mandate of exactly what the laws are and principles are when we get these type of actions. The NBA, they pretty much run similar actions. What makes it different is their options.
Right. Every team runs the same stuff.
Who you got?
Right.
Who you got
so how are you 80 games in the season? And I saw a play like Tibbs has his defensive philosophy that he plants his guards really deep in the paint. And I don't understand why, because now they're 2 feet in the paint now. So it's going to take them mad steps to get back out to that 3-point line.
I was thinking the same thing, D.
No sense.
Right.
Okay, so here's
quite a few times.
I'll give you one. I'll give you another one, right? And shout out to Fox. He brought this to my attention. Why would Sims be in the game when Kevin Durant is your center?
Yeah, that was that adjustment I was talking about earlier. When we went small, you supposed to bring Sims out of that game. I'm sorry, Sims had a great game.
And he played great. But
you got to adjust, man. You got to counter box.
Say that again, first.
Oh, my bad, Ron. I was gonna say Obi
you
should have
good,
been
you
our
good.
center.
But it was only 2 more things I wanted to say really that caught my attention like late in that game.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about why we lost, yeah, everybody can take some blame for it. But the two guys I hold most responsible, man, is RJ and Alex Burks. I saw a lot of hero ball in that game late. A lot of one-on-one, the ball stopped moving out their hand. They trying to be the man. Come on, man. Do what got you the lead. And that's what teased me up. Just like my Carolina Tar Heels the other night losing against Kansas. You know what I mean? We stopped doing what works to get the lead. And that's the danger when a team get a lead early, especially a team that ain't used to winning.
So let me ask you a question, Ron. Like, when you think that RJ and Burks are going ISO, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that Tibbs calls a play, right? So say like he calls Diamond or something like that, right? And do you think they like, F you, Tibbs? We're going ISO.
No, I don't even put it on Tibbs. I think they're taking it upon themselves to just do it.
So yes.
Wait. So hold on. So let me get it straight. So you think that Tibbs is calling Diamond, for example, and RJ and Burks are like, we're gonna run ISO. You think that's what's happening?
You know what? I can't say that because we've seen this.
Because you almost did say that they waving them off.
Because if you noticed earlier when I first started talking about Burks, what I said, the first thing I said when I talked about what I saw in Burks, I said Burks thought he was Randall last night. Right. That's what he turned into in that third quarter, and that was reminiscent of what Randall was doing. So this do go back to your coach, and that's why he can't be here, man. I'm sorry, man. I think next year, I know I ain't buying that league pass next year.
You better save your money.
I'm gonna save my money, man. I'm gonna save my money. But the saving grace for this season for me, man, has been watching these young fellas. I'm happy with what I'm seeing with these young guys overall, in spite of the coach. Because the reason why I would fire him, this is my reason for firing him. You took too long to make a decision that was made for you. You didn't put these guys in these positions of playing until you got handcuffed, so to speak. with injuries. That's the reason why we seen Obi the way we seen Obi these last games. Julius Randle didn't get hurt. Obi still would have been getting a little 11, 12, 13 minutes. We still wouldn't have known what we had.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So with that coaching malpractice, man, and Tibbs, there's no way in the world Tibbs can be here, man. I'm telling you, man. Hey, James Dolan, if y'all people are listening, please get Tibbs up out of here. Please get him up out of here.
And back to the ISO thing real quick, and then we'll kick it around. Is that it's the same format, and that's how you know it's a Tibbs thing. Because when Randall was here and we were in fourth quarter games that were close, what do? We ISO'd. So it's not a player thing. It's a mandate that's coming from your ranks, from your coaching staff, and they're saying ISO.
Yep.
And you know what's crazy too? Now you know you need an offense because you started stalling big, and I ain't the biggest Fournier fan, but I know when we need baskets, he's the one guy who can make tough shots. He can make shots when you need to make timely shots. Fournier, we know, was having a rough game early. He didn't bring him back to play in that, man. I'm like, I like Tibbs, man. You had options, and you can't say you didn't have options.
Yeah.
He really handcuffed that team, man. And shout out to Steve Nash because he outcoached him.
A lot of people have outcoached him this year.
Yeah.
That's common.
Tibbs lost multiple 20-point leads. He lost a 28-point lead to the Nets to Cam Johnson. He lost a 25-point lead. He lost a 21-point lead, I think, to Portland. Listen, I don't know.
Oklahoma City. Don't forget Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Wow.
City, like.
Steve, you brought that back.
It's a couple more, too.
You know, I had almost forgot about all them 20-point losses. Tonight was just another kid. Matter of fact, the same Nets.
Yeah.
The last time we played them.
My beef, though, my main beef with this, we're going to keep Tibbs for another season, is I felt disrespected. Now, here's why. Everybody knew Fizdale was tanking his first year. Everybody knew that. We all knew, the world knew that. If you looked at the roster and seen the talent he was strapped with.
You call that talent? You call that talent?
Freezy, you agreeing with me without agreeing with me?
No, I agree with you.
So look at the talent we strapped Fizdale with, right? That was upper management. So he wins 17 games. All right, cool. He delivers me RJ Barrett. Fizdale, if you listen, I hope God bless you and your wife, man. So he got me RJ Barrett. So the very next season, the Knicks start out 2-10. So you come out and you do a press conference upon the reason why he was 2-10. And then Fizdale is fired after 4-18, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You fire that black man after 4-18, okay? I watched Tibbs go 3-17 and literally destroy my Knicks seasons this year. You didn't hear a fire Thibodeau chant. You didn't hear a fire Tibbs from the media and all that. You know why you didn't hear that? Tibbs knew those guys at SNY, ESPN, and MSG for 20 plus years. You think those dudes is not company manning for Tibbs right now? You think those dudes ain't gonna bring up Tibbs' anemic offense?
We know Perkins on his payroll.
Tibbs' offense is so trash that if we keep him here for next season, how can I get excited for a guy like that? And then the draft pick that we get, we know he ain't playing. We know that guy ain't playing. He only played Quentin Grimes, and this is why I get at Josh for nothing but Knicks. Because you give Tibbs all these tired excuses. He only played Grimes because of COVID and injury. Absolutely. You don't think we watch the same games? Like that's what be killing me. So then Deuce McBride didn't play until game 60 because Alec Burks is a Hall of Famer. Like, people kill me when it comes to, the vets got to show the young guys how it is. Anthony Simons is sitting behind Damian Lillard. Like, them young boys, Kyle Lowry had Fred VanVleet. Them young boys had all-stars in front of them. They had people that you can justify why those guys is in front of them. You can't justify to me while Evan Fournier and Alec Burks is playing ahead of Cam Reddish in a lost season. This season was lost before February. But no, y'all let the media, gaslight y'all. Oh, we're not eliminated until we're eliminated. Tibbs, you dummy.
I'm
gonna tell you this.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. So there's a lot of things going on there. So you brought up a race thing as to the treatment of Fizdale as to the treatment.
No.
Wait, yes, you did.
But that's how they treated.
Hey man, I just let you go for 5 minutes. Can I start?
I just want it to be fair. That's how they treated Derek Fisher. They didn't give him leeway. They didn't give Fizdale leeway. I watched Fizdale go 4-18, and I watched Tibbs go 3-17. So
okay,
what is the disconnect with that?
So this is what I'm going to tell you. It's because Fizdale didn't win Coach of the Year last year. That's why.
In a fake season, I don't care about the.
Hey, look, fake season, no season. It was a season, and he won. Look, listen, and let's keep it clear. I never wanted Tom Thibodeau here. I wanted to fire Tom Thibodeau at trading deadline. So don't get it twisted. But it's different between him and Fizdale because he won Coach of the Year last year and he brought a team to a playoffs. So you name me a coach. Hold on a second. So you name me a coach, right, that won Coach of the Year and was fired midway in the season the next season.
Wait, wasn't Dwayne Casey Coach of the Year?
Now, he did a whole year. He did a whole year and then he got fired.
But why that black man win Coach of the Year and then get fired the next year?
He did
What?
one season.
What are we talking about here? Listen, no. That's not what I said. What I said was that have you ever seen a Coach of the Year get fired halfway to the next season?
I've seen it in football with Marty Schottenheimer.
We talk about basketball, brother.
I know you're talking, but I'm just saying that coaching wise.
Listen,
see somebody get that.
I don't like Tibbs. He shouldn't even be here. But I'm just saying that what you're saying is a little unreasonable because it's never happened.
So if Tibbs is here next season, we're not
He
going
shouldn't
to
be here.
playoffs.
No problem with that. We know that already.
We're not going to the playoffs with Tibbs as coach.
Right, and so go ahead, Ron.
I'm gonna tell you this, Freezer. You remember the first time I showed back up on anybody pod? The first time it was on your show,
right?
And I remember I said this just like yesterday. When Alex Burks got inserted as the starting point guard, I said it verbatim. If we're dependent on Alex Burks to be our starting point guard, we're in trouble.
Yep.
We're in trouble. It didn't take a rocket scientist to what State's saying. You know what I mean? When this season was lost after game 6, and you could see the internal friction that was going on with this team, you knew something wasn't right because Julius Randle just totally flipped. His mindset totally flipped. And you brought guys here, you just destroyed their identity. This season was sabotaged in a lot of ways early on, man. And Julius Randle had a major hand in it. That front office is culpable in it. That's why if Tibbs going, that front office need to go with him because they're the one who hired Tibbs. And remember, we had that such extensive coaching search. And we hired the right guy for this team. This is the front office that hired this guy after we interviewed. I lost track of how many people we interviewed. So I don't want them hiring the next coach. I don't want them trying to get us, because I'm not even convinced they're going to get us a point guard, ladies and gentlemen.
No, none of us
I'm not convinced they're going to get us a point guard, and they're not going to do what's needed. And I've come to a realization on this, and I'm going to let somebody else go.
Yeah, because I gotta finish what this state said.
As much as I hate to say this, as much as they need to go ahead and move Julius Randle, I'm not even sure they're going to do that.
Yo, if they don't,
they may not. But hold on a second before we do that, right? So State also said, and State, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just showing you why it happens. So the reason why Cam Reddish didn't move out the jump line, right, in front of Evan and Alec, is because they invested almost $30 million in them.
That MSG politics. They play
Without a doubt.
According to contract instead of who is the best player for that said situation.
And unfortunately, that's a lot of business because you see yourself as a millionaire, right? And you want to become a multimillionaire and you invest in something, right? You got to see how it returns first before you go ahead and sit that on the bench because you did invest $30 million. You see, so you got to understand that from a business perspective.
Let me give you a rebuttal.
Okay.
Eric Spoelstra sat $60 million on his bench. So Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero can get minutes. So I don't want to hear about you investing $30 million in bums.
Who was the 60 that they spent on that?
My fault. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, who's the 60
Who's the
that they spent? Yeah. That Miami spent on that these guys jumped up.
Whiteside. They had Hassan Whiteside, James Johnson, and Gordon
Dragic. Yeah.
So they had 60 million literally out of their rotation, all healthy, playing kids. So when people say, "Oh, why?"
But that's not fair, State, because when those guys were injured, the Miami Heat made the NBA Finals. So he had a test run with them guys. He had a legit test run, and the team played better when those guys were hurt. So going forward, it was easier to sit them because he could point back to, hey, we played better as a team with those guys sitting. It's the reason why they moved Tyler Hero to the bench, because the starting lineup plays better defensively without Tyler Hero, and Tyler Hero's offense off the bench is more of an addition or a plus to them offensively with him coming off the bench being a 6-man playing point guard.
Flamethrower.
Yeah. And look, I agree with you. Cam should be getting minutes over those two guys any day of the week. I am not in disagreement with you. But if you go ahead to the front office and give that spiel, they're going to give you that rebuttal.
All roads go back to who D's balling.
Say that again?
Decision of who plays on the floor.
Oh, man, come on, man. You're right.
All roads goes back to Tibbs, man.
Yo, the Knicks for the past 21 years just love mid. They always love mid basketball players. Mid. Reggie Bullock. Mid. Randy.
And you know what else? After that, big name coaches. We always go after big name coaches, man.
The best.
Stop with that.
The best glimmer of hope the past 21 years for my Knicks, the three things, was Carmelo Anthony, Kristaps Porzingis, and RJ Barrett. So the Knicks need to get it together. I don't need a big name head coach as my next coach.
What do all three of those dudes have in common?
Carmelo,
high draft picks,
and RJ?
All top 4 picks.
All top draft picks.
Wait, hold on, Uncle Freezy.
I like that, Freezy.
Hold on, Freezy.
Good catch.
What was my definition of the almighty 4th seed? And why me and you said we needed Scotty Barnes before Scotty Barnes about to win Rookie of the Year? Why did we have a problem with that?
Right. Well, I understand where you're coming from. Let me interject this just to add a tiny bit of balance to the argument. The reason why Dwayne Casey was fired is not because Toronto had a bad season. Remember, they had a great season. What it is they just felt like Dwayne Casey couldn't get them over the LeBron James hump. Right. The same time they get rid of Casey is the same time they trade for Kawhi. Right. LeBron James leaves and goes to the Lakers.
Yep.
And so Casey's replacement looks like he did a better job with the same team, but it was not the same team, and the Eastern Conference was not the same. Right.
And that's key. That last part is key. What you just said.
Yeah. So it's a lot of things that they go into it. Dwayne Casey, the Dwayne Casey firing after Coach of the Year thing, to me is not really fair, because it's not like the dude did a bad job with Toronto. He was facing the big 3 Miami Heat and LeBron James in Cleveland.
The best player in the game.
He just couldn't get them over the hump with dudes named Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask. So let me ask a question, so we get everybody involved here, and it's not just 2 or 3 guys. Freezy, you want me to start off with you? I'll start off with Ray after the question.
D'Angelo?
No, I was going to start off with Ray and then D'Angelo.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. Do whatever you want.
Okay, cool. I know. I'm asking if you want to go first or you want to go last.
I'll go last.
Okay, bet. So, for our new GM hats, we most likely know that next year we're probably going to see the same crap that we saw this year, right? So now, if you have your GM hat on, your president of basketball operations hat on, do you feel that we can come back with the same crap and it be a better version of crap? Or do we have to go in a different direction? And if so, what would you do? I'll start off with you, Ray.
I'm the president. I'm the GM. You're telling me Tibbs is going to be back, right?
No. This is your floor. You the guy. Yeah, you could kick Tibbs to the curb.
Oh yeah. Then he's gone. I mean, he would have been gone by the trade deadline, but he's gone. Like, that man is not. Like, I'll pay for the U-Haul, the jet, all that wonderful stuff. He's up and out of here. Randall's got to go too. And to sort of piggyback off of Uncle Freeze's point yesterday, which is why we lost the game yesterday. You need an impact player. You need a closer. You need a difference maker. And so I'm taking the collection of the 24 draft picks we have, 7 first and the 17 seconds we have, along with some of the expiring deals. I'm getting up off Noel. I know I won't be able to get much for him. I'm getting up off Alec Burks. I'm getting up off Evan Fournier. Getting a pick for him, and I'm bringing in an impact player at the point guard position. That's either going to be Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, SGA. It's going to be one of those three. I know I would love to go after DeJounte Murray, but DeJounte Murray, like, the Spurs are not giving that up. They're just not. And if I have to get him, it's going to cost me a whole lot of stuff. I'm bringing Cam Reddish into the starting lineup, so I'm either having the starting lineup of SGA, Dame, or Donovan Mitchell, RJ, Cam Reddish. I'm rocking with Obi. I know Mitch is gone. He's going to the highest bidder. Period. End of story. And so I'm probably going to draft a big man, and I'm just going to roll with that. And I'm going to fill out my bench with whatever I can in free agency. You know, with just better structured contracts and whatnot, and we go from there, and we see what that season becomes.
My only thing is that with SGA, might have to give up a king's ransom for him because he is making $32 million next year, starting on his new contract with OKC. So keep that in mind. We might not have enough pieces in order to facilitate something like that, unless RJ's on the table.
Well, I think SGA is contingent on if we get a higher draft pick than Oklahoma City for this draft. If we get, like, let's say a top 5 and they get a top 10, I could see a scenario where we may be able to finagle some stuff. Now, obviously, SGA's contract, you know, it's kicking in. That extension is kicking in. But I'm doing whatever I can to bring in an impact player. Because as I said before, the reason why we lost yesterday's game was, yes, we can say Tibbs, we can say players, we can say front office, we can say Dolan, but it is primarily...
We just don't have the guy.
We just don't have impact players. And we need impact players. Like, I don't care, you know, who that person is. I preferably want it at the point guard position. But when we needed a shot, when we needed someone to close, when we needed a threat that the other coaches game planning for, we didn't have that. And again, salute to Uncle Freezy for saying it, because I was absolutely totally against him wanting to bring in Dame because it looked like Melo 2.0. But the truth is we have 24 draft picks, 7 first, 17 seconds through 2028. We have the 27th ranked payroll in the NBA at $122.9 million. So it's not a lot of money. We can make something happen, but if you don't bring in an impact player, we are going to destroy RJ Barrett, in my opinion.
No problem. D'Angelo.
Yeah.
What you do?
First thing I definitely fire Tibbs. Tibbs has definitely got to go.
What? No secret there, D'Angelo.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's got to go.
Okay, that's a shocker. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm the same script as how he coaches, so sorry about that. Anyway, but he's gone. Fire abruptly like an NBA 2K, whatever. Down 4. Unfortunately, that's it. I want to go in rebuild mode. Trade Randall, of course. There's the other narrative. He's gone. I got to figure out how to get him off this team. Trade him for a box of basketballs. I got to get something. I want him off this team. He's literally a problem. He stifles things on this team. He's a problem. I don't need that. After my team this season, he's gone. He would have been gone last season. Played it. So he's out. Get rid of Rose. Get rid of all the older guys. Taj gone. Get the clipboard. I'm sorry. If he's a Brooklynite, I'm from Brooklyn. I don't care. Go. I got to make my team. I got to rebuild the whole thing. I'll start. I'm not going after Lillard. Get Lillard. I'll start with the young kids and build. I want to build the foundation. I'm tired of being a laughing stock all the time with this thing. You got to blow it up. You got to get rid of all the old guys. Keep Fournier. Let him come off the bench. Let him weep on the bench. Oh, well, you're still getting paid. Just come off the bench and shut up and shoot threes. That's it. Goodbye. And that's what I would do. I want to rebuild the set. I don't want to get rid of my young core guys. I like these guys. Sims, Robinson could go after what I see what Sims was doing last night. He jumps out of the gym, this guy. He's hard-nosed. I want the hard-nosed player. I don't want when Robinson stubbed his toe and he's just hopping around the ball and he needs to get off. Come on now. I don't want that. I'll keep Sims. Let somebody else deal with his little ills and aches and pains. Go. I'll keep Sims. I like what I see in Sims. Build around that in the draft. Trade up. Do whatever you got to do. Rebuild it. Let's not go with the older guy. I don't want to see Kemba be gone too. He's got to go. They're talking about him coming back next year. What are they, crazy? I mean, come on. So I like RJ. I heard all the narratives about that. Give RJ a chance. I think he's going to be fine. The free throws are killing us. Could have won that. It could have been a lot closer that game at the end. But again, that's fine. Okay, I'm done. There you go. Next.
Thank you, D'Angelo, for your counter. You know, you got to be a little bit more direct when you talk. Ron, where you at?
Aye.
All right. So first, I'm the beautiful thing, you get to listen to everybody, and then you get to formulate your thoughts even more. First move. I'm doing one better. I'm gonna be James Dolan. I'm cleaning house. Leon Rose is gone. Tibbs is gone.
Yep.
And my idea, you already know who I've been saying who I want for this team. And I would call OKC and ask them what would it take for y'all to let us get Sam Presti? At least try. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to get Sam Presti in here. And then for the coach, because Tibbs is gone, I'm going to Michigan and I'm getting Juwan Howard. And if I can't get Juwan Howard as a coach, the second guy I'm going to go get the hometown kid, Mark Jackson. Because I know he can develop young players and a young team where the mode that I'm going in, because I'm going with the youth movement, period.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sending Julius Randle up out of here. Mm-hmm. He don't fit the timeline. It's well documented for all the reasons why I would move him. Evan Fournier is kind of tricky. I would keep him, but he's not starting. He's coming off my bench because in the league you still need shooters. I don't care. And the guy can shoot, so I'm gonna have him in that role. Derrick Rose, I'm gonna send him somewhere to a veteran team where he can try to get a ring. You know what I mean? I appreciate him, but he has to go. Taj, I would keep Taj. Taj would be my emergency situation. He would be the Udonis Haslem for the Knicks, is what Taj would be. Mm-hmm. You know, if you have to play him, you know what you're going to get when you play the guy. He's good for the locker room. He's good for the young guys that's going to come in and going to teach them how to be a professional. So I'm going to keep Taj. Who else have to get out of here? Nerlens Noel would have been on the first thing smoking last week.
You're not keeping Nerlens?
He has to go. Mitchell Robinson, I'm keeping Mitch. There's no way I'm letting Mitch get out the door. I'm keeping him, that tandem of him and Jericho, because I like that. I'm keeping them two guys. And point guard, I'm going to go find me a point guard. And I told you, I alluded to it the other day, because I ain't going to be stargazing right now, because I know we still developing. So I'm going to get somebody who can run a team. I'm going to go get Dennis Schroeder. And it ain't going to cost me much to get him. And that way, it can still allow them young guys like Deuce and even IQ to develop if we still trying to make him a point guard. But that's what I would do.
Here's my one pushback with Dennis. Boston didn't want anything to do with him anymore because he don't pass the damn basketball.
I don't think that was the sole reason. They got a deal they couldn't refuse.
I'm just letting you know what came out of their camp. I can only say what they said.
Well, that's what happened when you get a guy that you know he's trying to rebuild his value.
No doubt.
After losing that, you know, they should have known that when they hired the guy. You know what I mean, to play that point position.
I got you.
So, but yeah, Dennis would be good on this team. I mean, he'd be one of the best point guards we've had the last.
Oh man, don't even get that started.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Some kind of stability and somebody who ain't gonna come in and try to be the man. Because this team, I'm gonna pivot to it being RJ. Oh, and Obi definitely staying, and he's going in that starting rotation. I'm with Ray on Cam. I'm putting
You
Cam
said
in that
starting
starting lineup, and
rotation.
I'm gonna let
What do you
Fournier
mean?
back
Is
him
he
up.
starting or is he just rotating the rotation?
Who's that?
Obi.
Obi? Oh, Obi's starting.
Okay.
Obi's starting.
Yeah, because there's no Randall here.
Yeah, no Randall. Then I'm gonna go out and find me a backup to him. Somebody like a who's a good backup? I'll go find me a.
Usman Garuba.
I'm stuck on the backup power forward. Wow, I can't think of a backup power forward to go get to put behind Obi.
Kelly Olynyk.
You know what?
Get someone in the free agency.
You know what?
Like
I've always liked Kelly Olynyk, team player.
Oh, you love your Tyrese.
I would. Hey, that's a good backup. I would get Kelly Olynyk. That's a
There you
good
go.
one, D's. That's a good
Sold.
one. And you ain't gonna have to spend a lot of money.
I got you. Okay. All right, thank you, Ron. Before I get to stage,
Still
guys,
rebuilding.
we have 138 watching and we only have 58 likes. It takes 1 second just to click, give it a like, and we appreciate it if you do so. State, what are you doing, brother?
State better come with it too.
What you mean?
State got a lot of passion. What do you mean? What I mean? Like the question?
Yeah, State better not tiptoe around this either, because now is his chance to set the world on fire.
So first of all, the Knicks get the #1 pick in the draft. Then we sign and trade Julius Randle to the Mavericks for Jalen Brunson. Then we draft Paolo Banchero. Then we have a starting five of Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Pablo Banchero, Obi Toppin. The center, I don't really care who the center is. If Mitchell Robinson walks, just do a sign and trade.
Okay.
But the main thing is the Derrick Rose thing. If Jalen Brunson is your starting point guard and you still have Quentin Grimes, Cam Reddish, and Emmanuel Quickley, then Derrick Rose will have to be sent off to a playoff contender. So,
okay, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Y'all mostly opted up everything I wanted to say, honestly.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's the whole point. It's your vision, you know. But okay. Well, the whole thing with Paolo is this: Paolo can't play the three.
No,
he plays like a three.
No, he's 6'10". He's 6'10", 245, bro. He's not playing the three.
No.
Okay, no problem. Tricky Nicky. What's going on, bro?
Nigga?
Hello, guys.
How's everything, Tricky?
Good afternoon. Yeah.
Cool.
I had to hop on because I'm starting a new job and I'm not going to make the morning drive very, very much anymore. But what I would do, to be honest, is Noel, Burks, Kemba, and Randall. You got to move them. You got to move them this offseason. I'm keeping Evan Fournier. I mean, he just broke the 3-point record. I know he came on late in the season, but I'm keeping Fournier. I'm going to try to resign Mitch. If that don't happen, I got starting Sims at center. Power forward, I have Obi. At small forward, I got Cam. I'm putting RJ back at the shooting guard and then IQ at point guard. But I'm keeping Derrick Rose for helping out with IQ. I don't think this is Tibbs' fault, to be honest. It was earlier in the season, but I think what they got to do really is move these veterans and force Tibbs' hand to playing young guys. So I would like to see us get a little bit younger, go through the draft, force Tibbs' hand, and if all he's got is young guys on his team, see what he does by December. If not, then you got to let Tibbs go. But I see a lot of fight with these young guys late in the season like this, even knowing we're out of it. I mean, Tibbs gets these young guys to work. So, but I would force Tibbs' hand and I would move these veterans out of here. The only thing is if Mitch does re-sign with us, then I would have him starting at center and having Sims come off the bench to back him up. Okay. Other than that, like as a front office, if none of that works, then you're just going to have to clean house in the front office. But I would go younger. I don't think we're ready to win for 2 or 3 years anyways. I would just go younger and force Tibbs' hand.
There you go. Oh. Hey, Tricky. I'm with that. Absolutely. And thank you for sharing your visions of what y'all would do in that situation. I'm going to be very quick. And me and Freezy are pretty much in line with this. We blow the whole damn thing up. Okay? Because it's not going anywhere. Okay? Now there's a difference between me and Freezy. I'll keep some remnants of some things. But overall, I'm looking for the draft. I'm looking for a young front office. I'm looking for a young coaching staff that is willing to grow with these young guys and willing to have them develop, then be competitive, then learn how to be successful. If it goes like that, I think we'll be fine in the next couple of years. People just have to be patient. But I don't want to see any of this crap that I saw this year. And that's what I would do. And I'll keep it real short and sweet like that. How about you, First?
Amen.
All right. I'll sum mine up real quick.
That deserves a like. Everybody hit the likes. That's funny.
Oh, for God's sakes. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Yo, man, it's I didn't know if I was gonna have it finished in time because when the question was asked, I was like, "Oh, let me put a video together."
Between cucumbers.
Yeah, between cucumbers, bro. No, actually, my blood sugar was low, so I'm in here drinking soda and eating peanuts. Anybody down south know about peanuts and soda? Anyway,
it better be honey roasted, and you're putting it in a Coke.
No, I'm not doing honey. Come on, Tricky Nicky, honey.
Yeah, honey roasted and Coke.
Honey is an animal byproduct, bro.
It's still good. It's more sugar.
I don't eat honey, bro. It's just But yeah,
or you could put condensed milk and malta.
Paying for people's flights and cabs. Word.
Huh? Wait, what?
Yo, I just if I could just step in for a sec, because I like this what we were talking about. And I was thinking about it actually last night.
You ain't even gonna say hello, bro. You ain't even gonna say hello, man.
I am. I'm sorry, Uncle Freezy. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? Hope everybody's doing good. Everybody's healthy. Well, it's 11:30 where I'm at, so yeah. I'm sorry, you guys are at 1:30. So good afternoon then to you guys.
What up?
I was thinking about this, and it's totally different. Because there's different ways you could go about it, right? Or maybe there's only two. You can go young, or you can go veteran. And I was thinking yesterday, for some reason, odd reason, I had the Knicks on my mind last night, and I was going the other direction because I am one of those people that do want to play the kids. I want to play Obi, I want to play RJ, I want them to grow together. I like the camaraderie. I like, the love for the Knicks that the young kids show and the fight that they show. But just for argument's sake, I went totally the other way. And I said to myself, what would happen if we would have, instead of keeping the young kids and progressively growing with the young kids and hoping that one day we win a championship with them, what would happen if we would go the other way and trade RJ Barrett, trade Obi Toppin, trade Emmanuel Quickley? This was actually the deal that I had in my mind. It was RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickley, this year's first round pick, next year's Dallas pick, and the 2024 first round pick for Donovan Mitchell, and whatever filler needs to be made to make that deal happen. In this case, I would be starting Deuce McBride because he would be one of the leftovers. Oh, and I said to myself, okay, Utah's going to rebuttal and they're going to say, no, I want Jericho too. Okay, so we're going to give him Jericho as well. Obviously, it's a lot to pay, but you're going to get a bona fide superstar at 25 years old that's from New York, right? So in that trade, you get Donovan Mitchell on your team. You can start him at the 2. You can put Deuce McBride at the 1, have Derrick Rose on the bench. You still have Cam. You still have Julius Randle. You re-sign Mitchell Robinson. And then you fill out the rest of your roster. You still have Nerlens Noel. Alec Burks will probably be gone because of the money. Kemba Walker will probably be gone because of the money. So what I'm basically saying is go veteran and try to go for a chip now instead of waiting 5, 10, whatever year you need to make to try to win a championship, because we don't really honestly know if the kids are going to make it there for us. But at least having Julius Randle, having Donovan Mitchell, and having maybe another piece in there. Hopefully somebody sprouts like Cam Reddish or Mitchell Robinson comes into his own and becomes one of the best centers in the league. Maybe that can take you over the top and you can try to do something there, because it doesn't matter if you're playing whatever superstar you're playing, you're not going to be able to guard them. What you're going to need to do is make shots, though. And in that sense, you're going to have a shot maker and somebody who's going to take it to the next level.
Okay, so you're saying that. So you're saying give up the youth, right? Implement Donovan Mitchell, right? With the cast that we have right now, and you feel that could be a championship contending team in the East next year.
With Julius Randle, Donovan Mitchell, and maybe a third piece that is not on the team right now.
Who's guarding what?
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Yeah, I think we can make more noise within the next 2-3 years than it would be, waiting for the next 6-7.
Okay.
Yeah, we possibly could make more noise, but I don't think it's going to put us over the hump to win a championship. And to me, that's just Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire all over again.
So, State, what were you going to ask?
I think Eddie had some good weed today before he came on this show. Because
I don't smoke, State.
Oh, so God bless you. Because as you're talking and you talking about trading all these young guys, I'm just thinking, who would Randle and Donovan Mitchell guard in the 7-game series? I'm just thinking, like, who would guard who? Then on top of the fact that I'm not trading RJ Barrett, bro. He's not going nowhere, bro. So you're gonna love him for the next decade, bro. So all this trade RJ, there's no way on God's green earth the Knicks trade RJ Barrett before Julius Randle. That's how you lose a group of fans, bro. You don't do stuff like that. So I don't want to hear nothing about my youth getting traded for Donovan Mitchell. What you should have said was, and this is where I come in and I say, yo, let's have good faith. Let's treat. By the way, I hope Adam Silver and Deputy Commissioner Tatum, I hope they're having a beautiful day today. I love you guys both. I love the NBA. This is why I've been begging for the Knicks to get the 1 pick. I really want the Knicks to get the 1 pick, because if we get the 1 pick, it's easy to call Utah now. Because I'm offering Randle in that 1 pick first. Eddie, I don't know what Eddie talking about with this Julius Randle Donovan combo. I'd rather.
Well, I mean, Eddie has the right to his perspective, though. So if he feels that that's the whole point of the question, it wasn't to demean him or anything of that nature. He has the right to do that. There's things that you may say that we might think opposite to.
And it's not a false narrative. Like Eddie C is not trying to force a narrative down our throat. He just is looking at it from a different perspective. Like, why not think differently about a situation that we've been talking about for 1,000 years?
Because we did that already.
I know, and that's why he is looking at it differently. Because every show,
the same thing as Melo trade. That's the same thing. I'm not doing that, bro.
We
did that 10 years ago. I'm not doing no more trades like that.
It's not the same, but it's not the same thing as the Melo. Y'all be saying that's the lazy way of looking at it. State, no disrespect, right? But when we did the Melo trade, we already had a dude that we thought at the time was a franchise-changing power forward, right? We had a dude in Mike D'Antoni who had a lot of success with the Phoenix Suns, right? And when you do the Melo trade, you figure Melo is the missing piece. You add Melo to Amari and Mike D'Antoni, and all of a sudden, you are looking at a team that can contend for a championship if you get the point guard that's going to be a free agent coming out of New Orleans, Chris Paul. That was the thinking, right? You get Chris Paul, you get Melo, you get Amari and Mike D'Antoni, and now you have a team that can contend for the NBA championship. This team, if you trade, right, you're not contending, right, from day one when you get Donovan Mitchell, right? But you protect your young core. You don't want to include your young core in any trade for any star. But if you can dump contracts and just give people numerous first-round picks and second-round picks, because right now, State, you and others know that there are 8 young guys on this team that we absolutely like, right? It's 8 of them, right? A young core generally consists of 3 to 5 players, and we have 8, right? Think about this. Do we really want to consider McBride, Quickley, RJ, Cam, Obi, Sims, McBride, and possibly Jokic? And if you don't do a trade, you're adding 2 more young players this year in the draft. You're looking at 7, 9, 10 players that could be part of a young core. How many teams roll out with 10 young players in a young core?
Y'all have to stop. The problem with Knicks fans is y'all always look outside your crib for stuff you already have in the crib. Y'all have to stop that. Y'all
How say when I just named you 10, I just named you 10 players that are already on the roster.
All right, but now
let me answer him this question. If, say, for example, we get the first pick, right? And you give that proposal to Utah, and Utah rebuttals to you and says, I don't want Julius Randle. I want RJ Barrett.
Then you're not getting that trade.
So, okay, so good. So good. This is where I'm at now. So you're in the thinking of that you wouldn't trade RJ Barrett for Donovan Mitchell?
I kind of don't even want to trade Palau Banchero for Donovan Mitchell.
Hey, I want to interject just 1 second. D.
Okay, calm down.
Turn your mic down,
no. Oh, is it loud?
I can't hear it.
But to salute Eddie C, I love your perspective on it. I just think you were giving away a little too much.
Tricky Nicky said, "Hey."
Well, that upset me. I'm sorry.
Calm down, bro.
All
right. Well, my point is, if you look at RJ Barrett and Julius Randle, let me ask everybody this question. What other superstar would want to come play with Randle here, knowing his attitude and his antics? I'd rather play with RJ.
Not a damn superstar's kicking down the door to play with Julius Randle.
Thank you.
I'd rather play Donovan Mitchell at a position at the point guard than Alec Burks. That's all I know.
Hey, what's up,
Colin? What's up, Colin?
I got a question. Yo, Eddie C. Who's your starting 5 with Donovan Mitchell after you trade all them kids? You prefer, and I want to know who's your starting small forward.
Me.
And then after that, we'll go to Coey because Coey's got to turn at this too.
When I was trying to finish, I was gonna start Deuce McBride with Derrick Rose backing him up. I was gonna put Donovan Mitchell at the 2, Cam Reddish at the 3, Julius Randle at the 4, and I was gonna resign Mitchell Robinson. Then you're gonna be left with the cupboard bare. You're gonna have Nerlens Noel at the backup center. You're gonna have Taj Gibson. You're gonna have Quentin Grimes. You're gonna have whoever else that you need. You have a bunch of second-round picks that you can pluck some talent from. You can sign some players. Maybe Jokic could come over. So, I mean, there's tons of ways that you could fortify your squad. But that would be my starting 5 to answer your question.
2 of them are last year.
Damn, what happened? What happened to that mic?
I don't know what that's.
Some feedback.
You sure that's me?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Nick Gods messed your mic up.
Tricky, don't do that. Okay. All right, cool. Cully, what you got, bro? You heard the question, right?
Yeah. I just need to know the scenario again. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What's the scenario?
Oh, okay. I thought you said you knew it. My fault. So you're president of basketball operations or GM, whatever you want to be, and do you feel comfortable going with this again next year, right? And if not, what would you do? What would be your steps moving to a different direction for next year?
From the president,
you calling the shots.
I gotta let Tibbs go. If that counts, I gotta let Tibbs go. I mean, that's if I'm a GM that knows basketball, but I gotta let Tibbs go. I gotta get a younger coach, a more modern coach to adapt to today's offense. Of course, I gotta get him some good assistants. With the attitude from my star player, Mr. Randle, he gotta go. I gotta find a move for him. You know, I mean, because it's before it was a point in time where we could say, okay, let's get him a point guard, maybe it could work, but I don't know if I even want him here with a point guard. He might not like not having the ball in his hands and having to wait for it. Who knows? So I don't even know if I want to take that chance. I trade Mr. Randall, and pretty much that's it. We got a lot of youngins. I think there's more youngins on the team than vets. Pretty much, I would we could probably keep the other vets at this point. You know, I don't think they're not really drama for the team. Burks isn't really drama. You could put him back in his natural position. That's if you want to keep him. I mean, or you could straight up go all youngin. But I'd trade Randall and I would use whatever pick I have. If I get picks with the Randall trade, I use those picks and just stay young.
What if you get the number one? I'm interested to hear what you.
If I get the number one pick,
yeah.
I mean, if you lose Randall, I mean, you probably would want to. You probably can get a young power forward. I mean, you got what's his name? Panchero. You got Poncharo. You got Panchero. You got
Jabari Smith. If you want to go that route.
Jabari Smith. What's Jalen Durant at center? Is Jalen Durant a center? No, I don't want Chet.
Yeah.
Why don't you want Chet? I like the way Chet moves at 7 feet tall, but I don't know. I don't know.
What's the question you have? What's making you think you don't know about Chet?
Chet, I like how he moves, but I think he needs to. I mean, he would be good in today's NBA because it's not really a powerhouse game down low. However, I don't know. I know his rebounding will be affected. My thing with him is he reminds me of KP in a sense. And my thing is if it doesn't go good,
you don't like 20 and 6.
Do I like to, from who? Chet?
Yeah, well, Porzingis is 20.6 rebounds.
Yeah, he is. But who says that's going to be Chet?
But you just said what?
He reminds me of him. I'm saying he reminds me of him in the sense of how he moves. He moves like a guard at that. He can move like KD in a sense, like his drives to the basket. He has the footwork.
He's not fast though. He's not fast.
He's not fast. But right. I don't know. I think he's gonna be good, but I don't know. I feel like it's a chance. Taking a chance. I'm not.
You don't like a stretch five?
Of course I do.
I think he's gonna play the 4 to start.
He's probably gonna play the 4 to start. You gotta protect him. So I like Panchero's. I think I don't know. I think he's a better 4, but I like Jalen Durant. Jalen Durant is what, a 5 or 4?
He's a 5.
Oh, he's definitely a 5.
Yeah, I like him too. I like Jabari Smith. That's if we're looking for 4s. I mean, if we ain't looking for a guard,
why would you look for a 4?
Well,
you don't like Obi? You don't like Obi?
No, I like Obi. But that's if we're looking for 4s. I mean, there's me personally. I want an energetic wing from this draft. I don't really care about no power forwards or I mean, unless like you want to get somebody to back up.
So if you get the most energy, say you get Benedict Mathurin, right?
He's a shooting guard though. But yeah, go ahead.
It's a small forward in this league. He's 6'7".
Right, he's 6'7" and
he's like
strong.
6'6". All right, but we have enough 6'6" guys though, no?
No, we don't have enough 6'6" guys.
And even that, if you talk about perimeter players, ain't nobody got the upside of Ben Mathurin.
No, Ben Mathurin is solid. He's solid at 6'6". I just thought we had a lot. I would love to have him on the squad.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to have him. He could be. Think about this. He could be Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, yes. and say because he's an athlete that can shoot.
Right.
He's.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
let me overhype him. I'm gonna overhype him for a minute. I'm gonna just overhype him for a minute. He is Latrell Sprewell and Allen Houston mixed together.
Benedict Mathurin? I mean, as far as I can see the athleticism part. That's one thing.
You don't see.
Doesn't have Sprewell shot creation though yet.
He doesn't have the Sprewell shot creation, but he has the Sprewell and Allen Houston athletic package. They was both athletic when they first came in the league.
You don't think he's more athletic than Houston?
No, he's way more. He's way more athletic.
Okay, I was about to say.
Okay,
I'm just saying he has he has the athletic package. I remember when they first came into the league, he was jumping out the gym and stuff.
Okay. But
the only reason I said I wasn't crazy about him being 6'6" is because I feel like we need length on this team. That's just my opinion. I feel like this team needs some type of length, man. We kind of small in a sense.
We could use some athleticism as well. That would be nice.
That's what I'm saying. And he's good for the athleticism department. I would love him here. If we're talking,
we need court athleticism. We have some front court athleticism with Cam, Obi, Mitch, and Jericho Sims.
Say that part again. I'm sorry.
So we need backcourt athleticism because in the front court we have Cam, Obi, Mitch, and Jericho Sims who are pretty athletes, right? But in the backcourt, you have Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes. Yeah.
You talking about getting the number one pick, right? The number one pick.
How?
Say that again, Ray? No. If you're asking me what I would do with number one pick,
with the number one pick,
I would trade it to Portland.
I thought your idea was great, by the way.
I'm getting off the pick. I'm getting off the draft.
Right.
I need an impact.
I'm trading
player.
both picks.
I'm gonna keep screaming it, man, from the rooftops, mountains, whatever. You need an impact player. In a loaded Eastern Conference, if you're not gonna add talent, then you will just forever be at the bottom of
whatever it is that we're at the bottom of. Yeah.
The bottom of.
Yeah.
Like I just don't understand.
Because think about it, you don't know if we're at the bottom of the division or the conference or the league. We don't know where we are at the bottom of yet. So we just say we have the bottom of something. But we don't know because we don't know what the upside of the kids is yet.
My thing is, I agree with you, Uncle Freezy, in the idea of your young core theory. It's usually built around 3 to maybe 5 guys. And I feel like you can build something with Obi, Cam, and RJ. Address the point guard, address the center. Obviously, it's not a premium position, so you're not dumping a boatload of money into it, which is why I honestly think Mitch is out the door. This man is gone. Like, he's not staying here in New York. And I think he's so petty that he will take $1 million more just to go to Detroit, just to, stick it to us because of how we treated him at the beginning of the season, where you could have offered him, whatever you were going to offer him, but you gave it to Nerlens Noel because you wanted to find out if Mitch could be,
and Lucas Shamanich, who didn't play with the Knicks. You paid Lucas Shamanich more money than you made Mitch Robinson.
State is after because they had his figure up.
The disrespect that Mitch must feel, coming in.
Are you talking about me?
Huh?
Cool.
You talking about me? What happened?
What do you mean?
You said State is
No, I'm saying after this, State goes after because he had his hand up. That's what I said.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I didn't know.
I think Mitchell Robinson feels disrespected, and I think he's gone. So I'm looking at the draft, if anything, to bring in, a low-cost center that will obviously, fill that role. But regardless of if it's fully athletic, then I'm going Jaden Ivey. And although he's not a point guard.
Jaden Ivey.
And I'm on the fence on that because he's not really a point guard. But my point is you need an impact player. And if you're not going to get an impact player, we're just going to kick it back here with Detroit and Indiana and those other fringe teams that haven't really figured it out, in my opinion. So if you're not going for Dame, if you're not going for Donovan Mitchell, if you're not going for any of those players that are going to come in and help RJ in his maturity, people tend to forget that with Damian Lillard, by the end of his contract, RJ will be 24 years old. What do you think RJ will be at 24 years old, especially with a development next to a guy like Damian Lillard who can teach him how to close, who's a difference maker, who can obviously change the entire narrative in a game because of what he brings?
Freezer, wasn't that your argument?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just feel like I had deja vu or something.
Uncle Freezy converted you to Damian-ism.
It was just a thought. It was just a thought. That's all.
Okay. All right. What happened, State? What's up, brother?
We're not beating the Bucks. We're not beating the Nets. We're not beating no team in the top 6 in the Eastern Conference. So all of this, trade the kids for Dame and Donovan. No, it's not the way to do it.
Who said trade
did
the
that
kids?
already?
Who said trade the kids?
No, not just trade for them vets and all of that. Carmelo Anthony type moves. We've done all of that. I'm good on free agency. I'm good on wishing somebody to come save us. I just want us to build like a small market team. I don't really care for the big names. Just give me something solid on the floor each night, but a solid team that is going with RJ Barrett's timeline. This is the problem what I had when people say, oh, trade RJ and the kids and get Randall help. Get him help to beat who? We're not beating the Bucks. That's who you need to beat to get to the finals in the Eastern Conference. You gotta beat the Bucks. How do you beat the Bucks? You need size, and you need wings, and you need a point guard. We have size a little bit if we keep Mitchell Robinson.
State,
But
here's
we need.
the final with your argument, though, State.
What you mean?
Nobody's beating the Bucks, right? You said nobody's
No.
beating the Bucks.
We're not beating. I'm just focused on my team.
Your
We're
team
like
is not
2
beating the
years
Bucks,
away.
right? Oh, okay. So in 2 years, Giannis will be 29.
Yep. And I'll be perfectly confident that my team will be ready to beat him.
In 2 years.
Yeah.
If they make the right moves, yes, they can beat them in 2 years.
And if the Knicks make the right, okay, can somebody show me the blueprint where the Knicks have done it before?
The Knicks have what before?
Made the right moves.
Sure, man. Last time they made the right moves was 2013 when they won 54 games.
If we're ready to beat someone in 2 years, then guys like Damian Lillard and Donovan Mitchell fit that timeline to a degree. And part of RJ's development has to come with a player who has done more and has more pedigree, in the league. And who has more pedigree? I mean, I know he's not a champion, but who has more pedigree than
and
Damian Lillard?
if they don't trade away all the young youth that we have right now, that's a different direction than the Knicks ever did before. They're always trying to trade away the young youth to one guy, like the Carmelo thing or things like that.
But I'm keeping RJ, Cam, and Obi. I'm only keeping those three. I don't know what happens with IQ or Grimes or whatnot. I'm just talking about you need an impact player to make some noise. You need an impact player to sort of cultivate and create culture in the team. It doesn't just come from the coach. It comes from, star level talent that is able to pull these kids or pull RJ to the side and go, no, this is how you close out a game. No, this is how you do this. No, this is how you do that. That's the only reason why I'm on the train with Uncle Freezy and the whole Damian Lillard thing, because I think he can offer something to RJ that RJ can't get anywhere else. And so cool.
If you had a healthy Damian Lillard last night, do we beat Brooklyn, knowing he's being guarded by Kyrie, Patty Mills, and Seth Curry?
Yes,
we do.
Yes,
Oh
we
yeah,
do.
for sure.
Yes,
We blow them
we
out by
do.
30. We don't lose the lead
Easy.
either.
We were up 21. You think Damian Lillard and his talent is going to allow a comeback like that? And granted, yes, I get it. It's KD and Kyrie. But when you have a star talent like Damian Lillard, that game doesn't get out of hand like that.
But he'll be hurt, bro. He wouldn't even be on the floor because he's hurt right now, bro.
Well,
He's
hurt
hurt.
right now. He's hurt right now. How many times has Dame overall been hurt throughout
You mean hypothetically if he was healthy, right?
Hypothetically, Dame is a great player, but can we be real? Can we be realistic? Because I just seen a Damian Lillard interview the other day. He's not leaving Portland.
I'm not trading them kids, man.
I'm not trading the kids neither, man.
And here's my whole argument with all that about getting guys here to come in and save the world type of thing, is that we have no problem, right, taking the tomato and eating it, but we have a big problem with planting the seed and seeing the tomato grow.
Watching it grow on the vine.
Right, and watching it grow.
Fertilizing it, watering it.
Right, yeah, watering it, proper sun, right, caring for it, talking to it, the whole nine, right? We got a big problem with that, and we have not done it. I think Patrick Ewing maybe was the last time we kind of did that. And
Right,
even we
that was
kind of
it.
messed up that core a little bit. So it's like we don't dedicate to the fact that we have to see the seeds grow, and then we have to continue growing it until we have a sustainable product that could be powerful and available for the next 5, 7 to 8 years. All these quick moves and stuff you guys talk about, we've done it throughout the whole organization's tenure. It never works.
So it sounds to me, D, like you want to develop through the kids, right?
Absolutely.
That's what it's saying. Okay, good.
The babies are the future, Cody. The babies are the future.
bro. Simple.
Don't trade them away.
What up, Cully?
But
Even though go ahead.
Go ahead, Breezy. Go ahead, Breezy.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
A lot of noise going on.
Go ahead, Breezy. You was
Oh, I was gonna say, even though, and hear me out, I love the theory of the young core.
Right.
I love the young core theory. Do I love every kid in our young core right now? Love
Probably
is a
not.
strong. Long is a strong word. Love is a strong
Right.
word.
Right.
Right. because what I would like is to see us have 2 to 3 dynamic young players.
Okay.
Do we have 2 to 3 in this young core? Do we have 2 to 3, maybe 4 guys that can go off for 40 points against the Brooklyn Nets?
Not right now.
Probably not. But
they got to grow into that.
Probably not yet. But probably not yet. But I need to see more though.
Yeah,
right. I need to see more.
Right, but here's the thing. If you need to see more, you at least have a hint or a clue to which one of those players will be that guy.
I think Grimes can shoot like Fournier some nights. I think he could pull that off if you give him those minutes. I think I could see him doing that against a team like the Nets.
The only three I can think of, Uncle Freezy, that have the potential possibly would have to be Obi, IQ, and RJ. I can't think of anybody else. Yeah,
IQ. If I'm not mistaken, he was. They had a scouting report on him that he can go off.
Yeah, those 3 would definitely do it.
And the only other one is a question mark for me would have to be Cam Reddish because we haven't seen him. You know, and Atlanta didn't play him.
Yeah, I think Jalen Green can do it.
What
about Jalen Green?
Jalen Green, he's not on this team. What about him?
I know who Jalen Green is. I know who he is.
No, but he about to be a superstar. You watch.
Right. Yeah, but he's a number 2 pick, isn't he?
He'll be a beast.
I would hope he's. Yeah, I mean, I hope he's going to live up to that.
What about a young player like Donovan Mitchell? Do you think he could go off for 40 against Brooklyn?
Oh yeah.
What about Jamal Murray?
Yes.
What about Devin Booker?
Yes.
What about Zach LaVine?
Yes.
Do we have any caliber of player like that in our young core?
No, we had a chance. That's all I know is we had a chance.
I can't find it yet.
We don't even have like Anthony Edwards. Like I would call him out. You know, Anthony Edwards has been balling lately.
Donovan Mitchell was at our fingertips. That's all I can say.
Right, and so was Devin Booker.
Booker.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but see, Devin Booker. Granted, we picked Porzingis. I mean, that's not too bad. Porzingis, like
I was talking about the trade Porzingis to Phoenix thing.
Oh, the trade. Okay, yes, we could have had that
with Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson wanting to trade Porzingis for Devin Booker and 2 first-round picks, and we turned it down.
That was a trade that needed to be done. And everybody poo-pooed that. Everybody poo-pooed that at the time. And that was foresight.
Yes, that was
I can't believe we didn't do that.
Yeah, we even offered Porzingis to the Celtics for Jason Tatum and a first-round pick, and the Knicks kind of hesitated on Porzingis.
We could have also, we could have also, not to cut you off, my bad. We could have also had Jaylen Brown too.
Yeah.
And listen, we have RJ right now. He's a good player. I think we all agree to that. He's 21 years old. He has a chance to maybe be great someday. But he's still a baby. He's a young guy at 21 doing what he's doing right now. So we got to give the guy a chance. And you got to watch him grow. You have to.
Yeah, him and Obi. You have to give these guys chances, right? I'm saying if it were up to me, I still would rather instead of having say 7 to 10 young players that I'm grooming, you know what I'm saying? What I would do is try to consolidate that to 3 to 5 players.
So you would trade most of them away? You would trade most of them away?
No, not just willy-nilly though. Not just random, not just randomly trade guys. But if I'm picking 12 and there's a guy there at 9 that's surprisingly on, say if Jaden Ivey slides down to 9, I don't like Jaden Ivey, right?
Right.
But if I could take the 12 pick and say Jericho and Miles McBride to move up to 9 to get Jaden Ivey, I have to consider it. And I love Miles McBride. Y'all know how I love Miles McBride.
Fair. No, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I love Miles McBride, man. But I have to consider it if Jaden Ivey slides down the board.
You need talent.
Oh, man.
I get it.
I'm a little biased because I really like McBride, man. So I'm a little biased with that one.
But just for clarity, D'Angelo, those are the type scenarios that I'm talking about.
You got to weigh it in your mind. You think about it. It's not like you're doing it. You think about it. It's a hard thing.
Right. I'm not saying that I'm packaging all the kids. I'm not doing that.
No.
But if there is a possibility, say for instance, we're at 9, and so the team at 5 contacts us and asks us if we're interested in Johnny Davis, and all they want is Cam Reddish and Jericho Sims plus the 9 pick to move up to 5. I gotta consider it. Ray, would you consider it?
But is it? Okay.
I'm part of the Cam hive. This guy has all the upside, and I'm just too high on Cam Reddish.
I'm very high
Davis?
on Cam. I'm very high on Cam, yo. Me too. But Freezy, isn't Johnny Davis a two guard?
Freezy, come on, man! Don't do that to me, man.
He's a two
No,
guard.
I love Cam too. I love Cam too.
Be right out.
No, I'm keeping Cam, man. Like
I'm keeping Cam.
Johnny Davis is a two guard, yo.
I gotta put RJ back in his natural position at the two.
Yes, RJ got to go back to the natural.
Man,
Cam Reddish and RJ, in my opinion, will become a top wing tandem in the league in the next 3 to 4 years.
How much money you got?
I'm gonna say 2. I bet that 2 years or 1 year.
2. Yeah, that's fine. 2
Yeah,
years.
I would give him 3 years. When you say top how? Like where?
Oh, you mean top?
I'm talking top 3, top 7,
man. Top 5
15?
in 2 years, man.
Out of 30 teams, top 5, I'm okay with that.
Hey, Rayology.
Yeah,
Do you think Cam Reddish? Because I think the jury's out on him yet. I agree with you to a point. Do you think Cam Reddish and RJ Barrett can be potentially the next Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown?
I think Cam has the higher upside than RJ. Is a little more talented than RJ. RJ has to work a little harder than Cam. But I really do believe that with their defensive and offensive, games in the way they play, I think it's a fit. I think they naturally can play next to each other a lot easier than people give them credit for. And Cam's Reddish is it's almost like, if you watch Cam Reddish, it's almost like it's so natural for him to put the ball on the floor and create and get to the basket that easy. I don't know what it is, but it's like with RJ, he's got to bully people. He's got to knock people down. I don't know. I just like that tandem a lot better than most people do.
Hey Ray, let me ask you a question real quick, because I gotta get out of here before the video. But shout out to Paris Duggan. He said shout out to Obi and Sims. Sims sat drumming down last night. Let me say this. This is one thing. The one thing that I would say a new coach is going to consider for the Knicks. I think a new coach is going to consider keeping RJ at the 3, playing Cam at the 2, right? Just consider it, right? Okay. And think about this: if Cam Reddish got all those drives to the basket that RJ Barrett gets, does Cam Reddish finish that poorly at the rim as RJ?
No.
Right. And then think about all the spot ups. Think about all the spot up threes that other players get. If RJ Barrett got those kick out spot up threes, do you think RJ Barrett would be a more efficient scorer? Now, with that said, the reason why I bring this up is because I know for a fact Cam Reddish already finishes better at the rim than RJ Barrett. Right. And the other reason why I bring this up is because last year when RJ Barrett was a spot up shooter, he shot 40% from 3. Right. These are facts. Right. And so where you could go check this stuff out is statmuse.com. That's what I use to check this stuff. Can
I help you out real quick? Actually, Cam Reddish actually finishes worse than RJ Barrett at the rim.
Really?
Yeah. He's at 53% this year as far as with New York, and he was at 57% with Atlanta.
And what is RJ Barrett at? 53?
Yeah, no, he's like around 56. I could go right now and find out, but he's around the same area.
Yeah, but he didn't get a lot of playing time, right?
So
I was talking about with Atlanta too, though.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. My bad. He does shoot 1% better than RJ Barrett.
Okay. All right. Well, that's no difference because if it's within 5 percentage points, it's no difference in my opinion. Because you got to look at the level of competition, who they played, and all that stuff. So. All right. So let's can that Cam Reddish at the 2. Or do you think Cam Reddish would be better and more fluid at the 2? Can defend 2s better than RJ guards 2s? Can defend 3s better than RJ guards 3s? And do you think RJ Barrett going to the basket as much is a detriment to his development as opposed to him taking those spot up 3s like he took last season?
Good question.
Is Cam like a natural defender in your guys' eyes?
Cam's athleticism and length helps him.
Okay.
He's a
so
I'm not
you
gonna say
think
To answer Tricky, Cam has the twos, but the problem with him is inner. It's not outer.
okay, so do you guys think, like, for example, I watched last night's game against the Nets. Early, mid, third quarter, I knew we were going to give it up. I just knew it. I felt it. RJ was getting tired, and Durant went off getting a triple-double, 32, 10, and 11. And I look at it, and I go, well, if Cam was there, he has a little bit more length than RJ, and we could have put him on Durant in the second half. Maybe we would have won that game.
I guarantee you he hit some free throws. I guarantee you. He's a better free throw shooter, so I'm not worried about Cam. When Cam goes to the free throw line, I'm not worried. When RJ goes to the free throw line,
he looks bad. He looks bad. Where he misses is he's long on free throws a lot. Back iron. You know what I'm saying? So he's got touch and all that stuff. But when you watch RJ missing free throws, it's always long, right? So you're like, man, just take a deep breath. You get there, you rush, get in a routine. You know what I'm saying? That's my deal. So, but guys, I gotta get out of here. All right. And you know, we've been rocking for a while, man. I appreciate everybody.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Man, it's like mid-afternoon, bro. Welcome to the Knicks afternoon drive.
That's right.
KAD, man. KAD.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for everything you do and just putting this platform together to allow us to come together and obviously share our different thoughts and perspectives. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, because the biggest trick that I pulled on the internet is people think that this is just an all Knicks channel, and actually it's a fellowship channel where we all come hang out and we talk Knicks. And people get tight like, oh man, you said RJ such and such. Yeah, we just really hanging out mostly, talking Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
Uncle Freezy, I love everybody's perspective. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It's just great viewpoints. Everybody hit those likes. Uncle Freezy about to leave. Subscribe, hit that all reminder bell. We love you guys. Thank you, chat, for being here. Tricky's out.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Tricky.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Hey, y'all, and shout out to Paris Duggar with the generous contributions, man. This one, I think we read this one already. Shout out to Obi and Sims. Drum and sat, that's a clutch point. I'm gonna get out of here. Make sure y'all Knicks after party tonight at 11. Cully and some dude named Subliminal.
This is some dude named Subliminal 123 or something like that. Yeah, I think it's 209, something like that, right? Yeah.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Salute y'all. Peace.
I'm going.